What you're about to see is actual paid information. So I hope that you enjoy, and I really do hope that it can help your dreams come true. So I published this course and I didn't sell not a single one. That is part of the reason why I've decided to just let it go for free. I made it so that you might be able to get to your dream if you even wanted to. I know that I'm not even in the niche of writing and publishing books, so that might be part of the reason why, but this is the exact system that got me to actually making and then selling out of my book. I don't make money off of being some sort of course guru. I actually sold out of the book, and this is real information that will help you. This will only go as far as you take it. Make sure to apply the steps and get to it. This course also comes with a workbook. It's around 20 pages long with the links, with everything that I use on how to write, publish, edit, all of that with the book. So if you want a free PDF download to work alongside this 3-hour long course to make sure that you publish your own book, it's gonna be linked in the description. God bless you. I really hope that this project can help you get to your dream of becoming an author. Peace out. Let's get it. Hello everybody, I'm stoked to have you on the Author's Cheat Code. So today we're going to be breaking down the first steps. Are you ready? Are you ready to write your own book? I'm stoked that you are here. We're going to be breaking down the writing book prep. As you guys can see here, what you see on the screen is going to be exactly what's going to be in the Author's Cheat Code. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. When you're coming up with your book idea, something that you're going to want to ask yourself is, what is the inspiration for my book? And then for my example, I am showing Diary of a Wimpy Kid and I Declare. So I Declare was a book, 31 Promises to Speak Over Your Life. Basically, it had 1 to 2 pages that you could read each day, and it could, bring you through the month and just be an encouragement. I read that book and I was like, man, such an easy read, so chill. I would like to do something similar. And then when I was a kid, Diary of a Wimpy Kid was one of the only books that I really liked to read because it was engaging. There was drawings. It felt personal because there was the handwriting font. So at least for me, that was a big inspiration. As you can see here for Transform, it's straight up supposed to be Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but black. It has this drawing of me on the front that my friend Ryan Fitzpatrick made, ripped out on the cover. Then the top is that yellow gold. So something important to remember, that this is also in the book. It's in a chapter called Collage Artist, but there is a term that says a good artist copies and a great artist steals. It's by Pablo Picasso, and that basically means that a good artist is going to try and copy other people, but a great artist is going to take bits and pieces from the things that inspire them and make it into something completely unique. So is this Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Is this I Declare? No, it's inspired, and it's something completely different because it's a fusion, and also different things also came into play. So I really quickly want to show that in this book there are full spreads of art from the left to the right, and sometimes it's not every beginning of chapter, but it does happen. And so in between the chapters there will be a spread of art like that sometimes. And then I want to show that was actually inspired by this book right here. So this is a book called Change Maker, and it has chapters like this, right? So I was looking through the books that we had at the house and trying to gain inspiration, and then when I saw this, it looks so clean, it looks so right, that it inspired me to do the same. So when you're making your book, look at the things around you for inspiration and see, okay, what do I want it to look like? What do I want the feeling to be like? And then start from there. And then I'm also just quickly going to show you that this book, the Transform book, has my own personal handwriting as the font. That was done on purpose because I really feel like that was something big that drew me to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, so you have the inspiration in your mind, and then to go along with that, you want to see, what style am I writing? So examples of this would be motivational, devotional, story, autobiography, etc. Because that will help determine, okay, how are my pages gonna look, what kind of style, what feel do I want to give off. Writing a devotional is much different than writing a autobiography. You know, like if you want to tell your story, it's, you know, you're pretty much doing front to back and you're writing it, you know. But if you're doing a devotional, it's short things once every day, you know. I like to think about, you know, that book that Drake had came out with. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it was pretty much just a few pages on each, a few words on each page. So if you're gonna do something like that, it would be much easier. So you're gonna wanna think of your inspiration, you're gonna wanna think of what style, and then based on that, you're gonna think, okay, how many pages or how many chapters do I want it to be? For me, I said, okay, I want my book to be 31 chapters, one for each day of the month, so it can just be a quick and easy read. So say for you, say you wanna write 200 pages, 300 pages, say you wanna write the next Harry Potter and it's a 1,000-page book. You know, that's all chill. But when you're looking at a goal that magnitude, you know, oftentimes people feel discouraged. They say, oh, look at the dragon that I gotta slay. So what we do in that situation is we break down our goal. So for the example of 31 chapters, the next thing you want to ask yourself is, how long will that goal take me? And how will I get there? So for me, just an example, I said, if I wake up and write a chapter every day, I should be able to write it in a month. Also, remember the extra sections. So you got to think about your actual book, and then you got to think about your extra sections as well. So the book is not just the book. The book is the introduction, thing on the back, the dedications, the preface, the actual body of it. You have your table of contents, you have your final thoughts if you want, and you have your acknowledgments. So, and also the copyright section. So these are all things that if we're looking at other books, you know, we want our book to be professional. You know, if you miss some of these sections, then it's not that it's gonna make the book look not professional, but you know, we should be looking at the best of the best and trying to see how we can get there, right? So we're gonna wanna remember all of those sections of the book. So here, and this is very important, guys, in the intro, I was saying that this is gonna be like a school, right? So we're gonna wanna put our attention in and actually write this down, because writing things down makes this a lot easier. So for an example, let's say I wanna write a book. We'll go an easy round number. We'll go 200 pages. So if I wanna write a book that's 200 pages, and say I have a goal to finish writing it in 6 months, okay? So let's say, I'm gonna do the math on here as well. I'm gonna take this out afterward, but say it's 200. I have a page here, and say it's 6 months. So we go 200 divided by 6. I have a quick calculator right here, 200 divided by 6. And that is 33 pages. Of course, it's not gonna be you're not gonna write point something pages, but so let's just say 34 pages. So that's 34 pages a month. And then if there's 31 days in a month, that's 31 pages divided by 31 days. And then very quickly, your goal just shrinks like crazy. It's 1.096 pages. Your monster goal, once you break it up, is easy. 2 pages a day, 1 page a day. Respectfully, you know, that's easy. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So the next step in your process is physically writing down, okay, how many pages or chapters do I want? And then how do I get there? And then this is very important, is that you make this a priority. Say, okay, I'm gonna do it every day in the morning. Make it a priority. When you're doing this work, shut off your phone, shut off everything, and then just lock in, okay? It's one of the most important parts. So, family, that is the preparation stage. Oh, also, let me be real quick right here. Make a proto cover. So what does proto cover mean? It pretty much just means that you're gonna want to make a vision of what you want the book to be. So for me, this was my proto cover. It says here, become that you. You might be saying, what's become that you? That was the name of Transform. Beforehand, I took the time to make a cover. I thought that at one point, I thought that was gonna be the cover. But more than anything, make yourself a vision, make yourself a cover and put it on the wall, put it somewhere that you can see it so that you're constantly reminded of the goal that you're working towards. So go ahead and do that. And then you have your goal, 1 page a day or 2-3 pages a day, 1 chapter a day. You have a vision on the wall, and you know your inspiration. You know exactly what you want the book to look like afterward, or at least you have a small idea. Remember that you don't have to have everything figured out. This is more just getting your creative juices flowing so that you can start the process. With that being said, you have an inspiration, you have a way to get there, and you have a vision to push you. Those 3 steps are going to be your preparation. So go ahead, write it down, and that's gonna be your homework, okay? Go ahead and do your math on how many pages it's gonna be. And then, yeah, we'll catch you guys, and we will see you in the next section, which is gonna be the writing section. Let's go. Congrats on preparing your book. I'm just here for the timestamp. Now it's time to get into the writing section. Peace out. Alrighty, so you already prepared your book. You have your inspiration, you have your goal on how you're gonna get there, how many days, how much you need to write every day, and you have your vision board, right? So you have your cover on the wall, and you have the mentality that, okay, we're gonna finish it. So now, next, how do we actually write this book? Okay, so writing is in my opinion, the most straightforward part. Want to know a little secret? This is the most straightforward part. What we're gonna do here is we're just going to write the book. So let me read this to you, and then we're gonna break it down. So writing the book consists of you sitting down and writing the book. But here I will share with you some things that may help your creative process. For me, switching locations was a big part of the process. Sitting outside, in public, in private, school, coffee shops, you name it, I may have tried it. Everyone is different, and I know that some of these areas can be more distracting than others, but I would try it out because for me, switching the environment allowed me to keep each part of the process feeling fresh. So if you want to, if it's your style, you can lock yourself in the room and just go ahead, go crazy typing every day. However, for me, I was in a different time, so I was going coffee shop, different places, so I recommend you try that out. I actually have photos right here, me in the coffee shop, and then me in the trunk of my car. So I would try that out. Keep it fresh, keep it fun, keep it light, because then you're not gonna feel like you're grinding. You're actually enjoying the process. You're out in nature. You're okay. Oh, nice. What are you gonna do today? Oh, I'm gonna go to the mountaintop and write. Like, so chill, rather than just, oh, I'm in the room and all that. I mean, both ways, both are blessed. It's really up to what you want. Okay. So the key is to have fun while maintaining discipline of writing every day. Lots of people preach discipline 24/7, which is a good thing. However, the ultimate cheat code, in my opinion, is to have fun and discipline working together. That way you don't feel burnt out because you enjoy the process, even when you don't want to use your discipline reserves. And even when you don't want to use your discipline reserves to get it done right away. Okay, so this is something I wrote on in the Transform book. I've added the page here. Check it out. So this is the page I'm talking about. So basically, discipline will make you feel like you're just grinding, which is chill, right? No problem against that. However, try and make it as fun for you as possible. That's part of the reason why I added these colors, So for me, if this is my actual page of when I was writing the book. Highlighted these colors, separated each one. It was just another way for me, color coordination, give me a little stimulation, pop the eyes, stuff like that. So when you're writing that book, try and have a little fun with it and all of that. So Next is, think of the writing process like word vomit. Write as though you're just talking. Just let the ideas flow and get in the writing zone. It will be profound. Don't worry about making it all sound right in the beginning. That's what editing is for. Okay? So when you're writing the book, for an example, it would just be like this. Like, just straight up write as if you're just letting it all flow, whether that be, the next speech, the next motivational, the next, Percy Jackson. Just let the ideas flow. Don't worry about getting it right because you're going to edit it. A lot of people, that might seem intimidating because it's like, well, I'm not a writer, I'm not a good, for me, I was an F student, I didn't really write speeches, I didn't really write anything. It's all about the mentality that you go into it with. You don't have to be a writer to write a book. And then after you write the book, that's when you get to say, oh, well, I wrote the book, it's chill. Just think about it like you're doing a text message. Think about it like you're doing 1 or 2 page essay, but then it just keeps on going, and you get new, fresh ideas because each chapter is different. So, key points for writing quick. Okay, so we're just gonna go down the list of my key points, stuff that works for me, stuff like that. Okay, set up times in the morning where you have dedicated time to write, just focus in. Make writing a priority. Say no to other things until the task is done. The less distracted you are, the faster you can finish. When you feel writer's block, write anyway. Choose a random topic and keep writing. Even if you take these parts out, they can often inspire your next piece of profound writing. So for me, I think it was something like 4 chapters that didn't make it in the transform book, just because in the editing process, I was like, that doesn't look right. It doesn't really flow. I was forcing it, But even so, I'm glad that I was writing in that time. When you feel that writer's block, you got 2 options. You can either try and write through it and you're gonna get something, or you can take a little break, so be it. Either way, as long as it gets done, it's up to you. Okay, and then it says, consider switching locations. We already covered that. Just consider switching locations to make it fun. Expect your plan to go off the rails. Finish either way. All that matters is that you finish. So for me, my plan was to write 31 chapters in 31 days. 1 chapter every day. Boom, boom, boom. In the morning, boom, boom, boom. But the actual writing process for me took about like 6 months, because it was like, oh, I went on a streak, and then, oh, I fell off the wagon. Oh, went on a streak. Oh, fell off the wagon. But eventually it finished, because I realized, I'm like, okay, I just got to sit down and finish it because it's more than halfway done. So expect your plan to go off the rails. Expect for you to fall off the wagon and maybe take a day, 2, 3, or 4 to, rest or skip a day. It happens. As long as it gets done, that's all that matters. But if your plan doesn't go off the rails, you're awesome. You rock. That just means that you have a superpower that a lot of people don't have. That's always, that's always a possibility, is that you just don't fall off the wagon. And then pray before you write. For me, this was a huge thing, with just asking the Holy Spirit to speak through me and give wisdom to the people. That's a good one. Understand that it will not come out perfect. We fix this in the editing stage. So if you're thinking about, oh, let me fix this, let me fix that, you're gonna interrupt your momentum. You want to get in that flow state, just let the words flow. So even if you mess up, don't pay attention to the writing or anything, or the spelling. Even if you have errors in there, that's what the editing is for. Okay, use pleasurable activities as a reward for getting your task done. So say you finish your chapter, you go, oh, you know what do I normally do? Say you're a coffee person. Say you're a tennis person, or you're a rock climbing person. Go ahead and climb a boulder after you're done with your chapter. Reward yourself, and then, your mind is gonna get, low dopamine spike. So it's saying, oh, I want to write another chapter because I'm gonna go to the rock climbing afterward. If that's your thing, that's your thing. And then Keep it flowing even through writer's block. You'll get over it. All things pass. Okay, so that's, we covered that a little bit. Just even through the writer's block, don't think it's the end of, the book, saying, oh, the book is, I can't think of anything. Like, just know it's gonna pass. And then write. That is another one. If you feel the flow going and you want to write more than you planned on, go ahead, go for it. The secret to writing a book is sitting down and writing the book. So another point to just say, lock in, the writing process is going to be extremely elongated. If you're checking your phone, if you're, let me run to the bowling alley real quick and, and have a quick a bowling session, If you're doing all of that, then, the writing session is going to take longer. But if you actually write, then you can get it done faster. Limit distractions. Say no to things that put you away from writing. Okay, so it's pretty much just like that. The writing process, you have the layout, you have the inspiration, you have what you want your book to be like, and you have your goal, your timed goal. Now it's up for you. I can't decide the chapters and the stuff for you, the actual matter. For me, just as an example, it was 3 different things. So emotional / psychological problems, relational, and practical wisdoms, So these were things for me, like, I didn't have all of it laid out. Like, first I'm going to write about the equal playing field, and then I'm going to write about the habits and success. I didn't have that writing down. You will get the ideas as you go, especially if you're writing something like some sort of fantasy book, right? To where they're going to slay the dragon, So, if Tiger's gonna hop out of the bushes, you might not plan that, but it'll probably happen. Okay, so just go ahead, write each step of the way. Just refresh your mind, exercise, do some yoga, keep everything fresh, keep it chill, and just write it. Just write the book. It's gonna take a while. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen in a month. It might not happen in 2 or 3. It could take 6 months, a year. So be it. As long as you finish, that is what we're looking for. So stay motivated. Don't feel discouraged at any point if you're saying, it's taking longer than I expected. It was the same exact way for me. All right, family, that was writing. So now, soldiers, your task is to go and write. I actually made this book writing template, and I'm going to cover that really quickly in the next video, just so that you have a whole video dedicated to that and how you should use it. All right, fam, go ahead, write that book. You got it. God bless. Run it up, write that book, run it up, let's go. I wanna hear you jump, I wanna hear you scream. Let's write that book now, Oh, let's go. Let's write that book right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women of all ages, sizes, and ethnicities, let's go ahead and write this book. So, we just walked you through the best habits to have on writing your book. Whether it be locking in, going to the palace so that you can switch up your location, all of that. Now here is the book template, okay? So set up in a juicy MLA format, if you know what that is. Just like you're writing an essay, you put your name here. My name is Mark J. Romero. Your name, of course, is not Mark Jonathan Romero. I would put your name here. Then your book title, let's say your book title is Slaying the Massive Beastie. That's what you're gonna put. Short description here. For me, it was like 33 lessons for transformation and success. You can put how me and Jill went to the land of Canaan and destroyed the beast. Okay, so basically, you put your name, you write the title and all of that, and then you go ahead and you start writing. For me, check this out. So this is my actual book, the manuscript, which just is a fancy term to say the actual writing part of it. Write this in a Google Doc. If you're a rebel, write it in a Word basically you write your introduction or wherever you want to start, right? You can start right off with a chapter 1. Okay, so introduction, use this to give a quick look at what your book is about and get the reader ready. For me, the intro is right after the table of contents, but basically it's pretty much like prompt, yeah, it's like, well, the preface also is like prompting your reader. So you're letting them know what's to come. Give them a quick look, inspire their, minds in about 2-3 paragraphs. Keep it chill, keep it short, 1 page max. Next, the preface or the preface, however you want to say it. That can be a little extended. My preface is about 2 pages. This part is like prompting your reader, letting them know what's to come, how to make the most of your book, and any other information that you want them to know. If you want them to know, the story of how you wrote the book, this is where you would put that in the preface. For me, I put like these quotes in, like, okay, guys, these are some things that inspired me. Now it's time to transform. Just something really quick, like, look, my preface is about 2 pages. 2 pages, that's it. Okay, keep it short, keep it sweet. Next, so you did the preface, you let them know all of that. You let them know juicy quote, inspiring, something to give them a little backstory on it. Next, you go to the dedications. Okay, I don't have a dedications on there. Let me find this. Let me see if there's one in this book. Also, this person has like a praise page on the front. So if you have somebody dear to you that wants to write something like this. So also, if you want to have a praise page in there, you can go ahead and do that. So I'll put that, you could say praise page, optional. All right. Okay, so check this out. This is the dedication page I'm telling you about. This gentleman says, "To my wife and children for helping me live my purpose using my unique abilities in harmony with our shared values." I actually, now that it comes to mind, I actually have a dedication in here too. It says this, dedicated to the young adults with big dreams, by Mark Jonathan Romero, son of Matt and Carla. So dedicated to you if you're a young adult with a big dream. If you're a middle-aged adult and you have small dreams, then, maybe we can get you on our side, get you a few years younger and give you big dreams. And then that'll be for you. Also, it's like, dedicated, family, someone special, stuff like that. Okay, next is the copyright. Adding copyright makes your book look legit. Let's keep it real, okay? So adding the copyright page, for me at least, let's keep it real. I was looking through the other books and stuff like that. I say, what do the pros do, okay? If I'm gonna learn something, I'm gonna learn it from the pros, okay? So I looked at the pros and they have a little copyright page. So for me here, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Transform, copyright 2025 by Mark Jonathan Romero. And then I say like, oh, you can use this book. I'm pretty much saying like, go all out, no copyright. And then I have like scripture in the Bible is here, and then I give credit to who made the scriptures, well, at least the publishers of them, like Tyndale House Foundation, copyright 1982. So for that part, you might need to do a little bit of research, but that is this part, okay? That is the copyright part. And then once you have the preface, dedications, copyright, perhaps even a praise page, you can go ahead and do your chapters. For me, I also have this in case of loss. This is a fun fact. It's actually in the Moleskine journals. So this is supposed to be like you found one of my journals. And yeah, so that's pretty sweet, fun fact. So chapter 1. So say that you're writing a new chapter, okay? So chapter 1, excuse me. Remember to look like an author. That means using fancy punctuation, and then it has like this one. That can also mean spicing up your writing with more articulate transition words like therefore, however, building on that, furthermore. You get the point. So, guys, when you're writing your book, stay true to your voice, right? But we also want to make it look professional, spice up the writing. So once you're done writing it, this could also be considered editing, but go back, spice it up with some of those words like furthermore, building on that, to add to this point make it sound sophisticated, because you're writing a sophisticated piece of work here. You're publishing your own book, so if you want, go ahead and use those words. I used a few of those words in here. And this is called, this one is used to continue on an idea, stuff like that. You can research what these symbols mean. Basically though, for me, when I'm reading a book and I see something like that, or I see something like this, one of these big dashes, I'm like, ooh, that looks so juicy. And it, more than anything, it also enhances the flow. So by adding these punctuations, maybe it's italic, maybe it's bold, you're giving the reader a more deeper idea of your flow, of what you are doing and all of that. Okay, so chapter 2, oh yeah. So basically, guys, if you're using this template, just put your intro here, put your preface, put all of this here, okay? Make it very easy for yourself. And take out my playful title and put, your serious title, which is, how to catch a pig or something, a greased pig. Is that something? So if you're writing a book on that, go ahead and do that, and then put your points in here, okay? Go ahead and take out all my stuff. This is just there as a template, show you guys kind of what I did, okay? You don't even have to use this. If you're writing on Word, then you are not able to use this, sorry guys. Well, actually you might be able to copy and paste it. Anyway, let's move forward. Chapter 2, oh yeah. Authors sometimes like to break things into simple to remember steps, like using bullet points or numbers, just like this. Okay, so say you're catching that pig. Point 1 is run as fast as you can. Point 2 is grab it. And then 3 is tie it up. So whenever these structures are in a book, it just enhances the aesthetics. For me, I have things like this where I'll cut off all things and I'll like highlight a quote or something in this book, in the Transform book. And I'll find a spot right here where I have bullet points. So check this out. The bullet points, guys, it's juicy, it's aesthetic, and if you're writing a list, it just works. And that's what it's helping the viewer and the reader. This can be a way to emphasize points if you're writing more self-help based book or something like that. Also, it can make your pages look more aesthetic. Did you see? I just used a fancy punctuation line right there. I don't even know what that's called, but it's aesthetic, so I used a ton of them in my book. I think it's used to continue a thought. I don't know. Well, I'll take that I don't know in there because I kind of do know that this is to continue your thought. But guys, did you see that when you're reading that and it has that dash in there? That flow is just fire. All right, chapter 3, Yahoo! These are bullet points. I'm sure you knew that, but doesn't it just look so good in a book? Lol. Remember, part of creating this book is seeing what the pros do and sticking to that formula. It will emphasize the professionalism of your writing and make things look, what's the word, profound. See what I did there with these dots? See what I did there? You can also use all capitals or italics to make your words pop. So this is what I want to emphasize here. So your words, here you're an artist. You're an artist with the words. You're giving energy, you're giving, you're elongating with the dot, you're continuing. You want to make this flow, make it flow, so however you want to do that. These are just a few ways. You can use capitals, you can use bold, italics. It's all up to you. For me, I used all of it. If I had it at my disposal for the Transform book, I most likely used it. Final thoughts. You did it. Yes, you did it. You wrote the book. You made it through the book. So this is if, say you already finished all your chapters. I'm sure your book is probably going to have more than 3 chapters, but this is final thoughts. You did it. You made it through the book. And if you skip to the end, you also get a party. So for you all, when you get here and you're finished writing your book, I'm just happy for you. Good stuff. That's what it's about. built brick by brick. You're a legend. You're an author. You're an inspiration to people. Okay. Psalm 118, verse 24, the New King James Version states, "This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." So if you want to end your book with a final thought, yes, excuse me. So this is final thoughts right here. Excuse me. So that's something that you want to leave off with your audience, right? So if they just finished writing your book, you could say, "Oh, you did it. You made it through the book. You also get a party." That's actually what I have in the end of this book. Don't tell anybody. What's it called? Spoiler alerts. Okay. So this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. If you want to throw a verse in there, if you want to leave them off with a inspirational quote, go ahead and do that. Okay. Then after your final thoughts is your acknowledgments. So we have the body, and then right after all of the chapters, we have the éxitos. Éxitos. That's my way of saying like my final thoughts. So, it has up here, you did it, all of that, congratulating the viewer, make them, know that you're grateful for all of that they read your book. And then you go into the acknowledgments. The acknowledgments is usually in the back of your book. So, whether you want to say, "I acknowledge this person, thank you to my friends," all of that, that is where you would put that, you would put it right here. And then about the author, which is you. Okay, so after the acknowledgments, in the very back of the book is the about the author. So here's my about the author. You can write yourself a little paragraph, which you would write here first before you actually put in the book. So this is my real, see, it's 110 pages. This is my real book manuscript. So preface, you can see equal playing field. You can see all the chapters, and then, and here I even have like pictures and stuff, so I know what goes where. Guys, make this as engaging for you as possible, and if you're putting pictures, stuff are in there, try and make that visual in the manuscript. The more detailed you can get in the actual writing process, the easier it will be when you start designing and editing it, because you have a more clear goal. Okay. El fin, best wishes, this is my end. Acknowledgements, shout out to the people who have shown me how to be better. Thank you to my father, mother, brother, Michael, Marlon, sister, mother, Carla. Thank you to Joseph just met, and my best friend. So these ended up getting replaced with images, but to God be the glory. If you want to put your acknowledgements and write them down, you would put them here. And about the author, what's Gucci fam? I'm Mark Jonathan Romero, and then you put all of that there. For me, I actually cut this down a lot, but you get the idea. Also, for me, I have like a product description and stuff like that in there. For when you're publishing your book, you put that in the underneath. So, if that's something you want to do, it's gonna be here too. I'll put book description for publishing. And then you go here and just change that. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, so that was step by step how to use this book writing template. You're gonna put your name, the title, the small title, the hook pretty much, because when it's showing up on Amazon, you're gonna want to hook them in, so let them know what that is. So if it's how you went to the land in Canaan, that's what it is. Then you write an introduction, then you write a preface, then you write a dedication, optional praise page. You write an optional praise page. You do an optional copywriting page. You do a how-to, or not a how-to. You do a copyright page to make it look professional. You do a chapter 1, a chapter 2, and as many chapters as it takes for you to get to the end. Then once you're at the end, you do your final thoughts. You do your acknowledgements for the people that you love. Then you do about me for the people who are interested in knowing who wrote the book. And then you can also do a book description for publishing. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that this book writing template helps you in your journey, and that it can go ahead and make it easier. You got it. You remember? Okay? Go ahead and write that book, sin miedo, without fear. Go ahead, get it done. I believe in you, okay? If you need me, text me in the school. If you need me, text me in the school. I'll be here for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm your biggest fan. And I know that you can do this, because if I can do this, you can do this too. All right, guys, have a legendary day and happy writing. Can't wait until you have that book finished and wrapped up in a bow. Peace out. God bless. Whoa, look at you go. You finished writing the book. Now it's time for the juicy editing section where you're gonna learn the tip and trick that helped me save $500. So let's take a look. What? No way, you wrote a book. Yeah. Basically, if you made it to the editing stage, that means that you have written your book from front to back, or you're just checking it out before you've done it. Either way, it'll be good to hear that you are a champion. So, we're gonna be looking over the editing stage. What does it mean to book edit? How do I save myself $500? Because there's people online that are gonna charge you around that amount for them to edit your book. And we don't want that because, well, I mean, unless you do want that. But I think that it's more like you if you edit the book on your own. Because if you're relying on other people, then they can lag it, stuff like that. You want to do it so that it's easier. Okay, book editing, okay? This is a quote from Stephen King. You might have remember he wrote it, stuff like that. Cut it down to the bone, okay? So a lot of the times, we're so in love with our own writing that we don't want to cut down our book, you know? So, but if one of the book writing goats is saying that, I suggest that that's one of the advices that we follow. Cut it down to the bone. Yeah, congratulations, you wrote your own book. Now the editing process. This technique and prompt saved me hundreds of dollars and most importantly, time in my process. Here I will share it with you. All you need to know about the editing process is that it is super similar to the writing process. How do you edit a book? You edit it. Same way you wrote the book, by sitting down, prioritize the process, and getting it done. This is the same way. So when you're editing your book, you're gonna wanna treat it like the writing process. So if you go away to your special spot, if you are going around coffee shop, you're gonna wanna focus on this. Don't let things distract you, because that's just gonna make the process longer. And especially for me, this is when I started implementing my 47-day strategy. It was taking me a long time to actually write and finish the book. So this is where I came up with it. Okay, we're gonna just edit it. I'm only giving myself 47 days and that's it. So then it was one chapter a day, editing. So this is gonna be that, okay? So set up a schedule where you read the book, fix errors, improve flow, and cut the parts out as you go. So we're just gonna be reading out the book, and then we're gonna see what needs to be fixed. This is the editing order that you should use. Number 1, make a copy version of your book to retain a backup. Read through out loud and fix mistakes. Flow as you go. Reading out loud will allow you to really see how it flows. Cut out parts that don't need to be inside. Some parts may seem profound to you, but your readers don't need to know everything. This is renowned author Stephen King's advice. Visit the last page for examples on what to cut out. We'll cover that in a bit. Once you have a version you like, plug each part into ChatGPT with an advanced prompt to fix any mistakes while maintaining your original voice. Rinse and repeat until the end of your book. I'm gonna go over that prompt in another section of this, but just know that this is the technique that saved me time and money, was using ChatGPT. But we're not just plugging this in and letting the robot take over. This is gonna be an advanced prompt, so we're gonna maintain the author's voice, your personal voice, and it's only gonna be fixing grammatical errors, stuff like that. And then rinse and repeat until the end of your book. Read through after the edit for one final quality check. No need to edit twice. Use the second read through just to make sure you didn't miss anything. So once you edit the book, so basically you read the book and you edit the chapters as you go. And then once you make it to the end, you're like, okay, fantastic, I have an edited version of my book. You're gonna wanna read the whole thing front to back again you know, whether that be 1 chapter a day, however you can break up that time, break it up, and then you'll basically see, oh, did I miss anything? Is there any spots maybe I want to change a word here or there? But just make sure that the second read through, you're not editing like crazy like the first one, you know, because if we're keeping it real, you could keep on fixing something forever. So we're gonna want to keep the editing on the second read through to a minimum, because in reality you could edit it 6-7 times and still find something new. Okay, so we're gonna cover this advanced prompt in another section, so go to that section when you're ready. But here we're gonna cover book editing points. Read your book out loud. Guys, I cannot, you know, put as much emphasis as this as I can, you know. I really want you to sit down and read it out loud. Reading the book out loud will show you the flow. You know, reading it on a page is much different from reading it out loud. And if you can read it out loud and things can smooth sail, then it'll be even smoother when you're reading it in your head. Okay, so ask yourself these, then potentially take out parts. So if it's in this red zone, Stephen King it, cut it out. It says, does this keep my attention? So if it doesn't keep your attention, if you're reading the book and you're like, man, what am I reading? Cut it out. If you're asking yourself, is this too long? Cut it out. Should we take out this section entirely? Cut it out. There, I have 2 or 3 chapters entirely that upon my editing, you know, process, I was like, you know what, this is just, it wasn't holding me, it wasn't profound, and I was just like, all right, let's take it out. Did you lose me? So did you lose me is like, you know, am I reading the book and then it's, you know, I'm confused, I'm like, okay, what is this guy talking about? That's, if you lose somebody, that's more of the editing part, right? So edit that up and make it understandable, you know. But if it's just, again, if you would rather just take that part out, take it out or edit it. Is this something I don't want to hear about? You know, take it out. You know, if it's talking about your midnight shower and, you know, all the details and, you know, scratching your back and all of that, like, respectfully, they don't have to know all the details. I have a few personal stories in my book that I took out because I realized that for me, the personal stories are so special, you know, and that's the thing that we need to realize, is that we think in our mind they're gonna be, oh, captivating the audience. And it very well could, you know. I'm not saying that personal stories don't captivate the audience, but sometimes you can overdo it. Just use your discernment and take out the parts that you think is too much. Is it profound to the author but unnecessary for the audience? We kind of already covered that. So if it's that, either take it out or edit it. And then, is it too emotional? So I had a few parts in my book that I took out because I'm like, you know what, respectfully, people don't either they don't want to hear about this, or this is just too off the rails. So if you have something like that, just read it through, consider it, maybe even ask somebody what they think, and then go from there. If any of these, note. Okay, so these aren't really urgent things like the red zone, but you know, you're gonna want to take note of this and fix them. So maybe you go into a section where you want to add more. You say you're reading it in the editing stage and you're like, oh, I could add more to this. And then we have notes, you know. So if you put a little something to the side and you say, oh, I think that I could tweak a few things here, just note it off to the side. Suggestions. So if you want to suggest to yourself, like, okay, maybe we should do this instead of that, maybe it should be more about, you know, the audience, less on you, stuff like that. How can I make it flow better? Another thing to where it's like, okay, maybe we switch up these sections, maybe switch a few words, add a few of those keywords, and then should we combine this into another page? So maybe it's 2 chapters, but it could be 1. You know, maybe the topic is so similar that, you know, you want to add that section into the same chapter. Something to note. All right, so that's front to back. Now, if you go to the next section, I'm going to show you 2 things. I'm going to show you a live example, and I'm going to show you how to use the GPT advanced prompt to edit your book and maintain your original voice. So when you're ready, go ahead and move on to that. Guys, you rock, you wrote a book, and now it's time to edit it, all right? On to the next part. Blessings to you guys. Peace out. Yo, famo, I'm gonna show you how to edit your book. This is gonna be a live demonstration. So let's get right into it. Here we have your manuscript. So then you go File, make a copy. This is Google Doc. I usually just put become.uedit. I'll put 2 though because I already have one that's called that. So whichever your title is, and then edit. So for you, it could be going to the Yankees game, edit. Say right off the bat you want to change the title. Go ahead and call it Yankees game. Okay, so we're just gonna keep this nice, short and sweet and simple and cut it out, okay? We're just gonna do this as an example. So we have ChatGPT here, but first of all, we're going to read through this and make any edits of our own. You know, we want to read it out loud like we were talking about, and then first of all make our own edits. So the way we do this is we make our own edits, we put it in the GPT and then put it back, and then just make sure it's all cohesive, okay? GPT is going to keep your original voice. Don't worry, we're going to use an advanced prompt and make sure that your artistic integrity is still intact, because me, as someone, I do art, I do some art on the side, stuff like that. I don't want to feel like a robot is doing my stuff. So we are keeping your original voice using that prompt. I'm gonna show you that in a bit. Okay, introduction. Let's read this out loud. Have you ever looked at someone and admired the way they talk, act, or carry themselves? Until the age of 17, I would compare myself to them and feel negatively about myself, thinking, I wish I had that confidence, or look at the way people love him. It was after an experience at a leadership program at the age of 17 that I realized all these traits are learned. So this sounds good to me, you know, but say that we're going to be doing this just for the example. Instead of saying all these traits are learned, maybe you want to edit it up and you say everyone can learn them too. You know, it's simple. It's, you know, you're changing them up, but it's still, you know, it's editing it. Some people have natural charisma because the way they grow up, but that does not mean that these traits cannot be learned into the person you are now. And say that I'm doing the Stephen King rule, you know, I can cut a lot of this out. Say it's like, oh, all of them can learn that too, and I can just shrink this entire thing. You know, I liked that sentence, but I'm just using this as an example. Everyone can learn them too. I used to feel sorry for myself, but it took years for me to reprogram and realize my full potential. You are the same way. God has created us all equal and with free will, so why not use it to our advantage? Choose your destiny and take control of every aspect of your life. We were all born as babies with no traits, so how can one be better than another? So what if I want to say like, okay, we were all born as babies with no traits. What if I just want to take that as babies out? We were all born with no traits. So how can one man be better than another? It is all learned habits and ways of acting. In this book, you will learn the biggest takeaways from my experience, how to reprogram and become that you. So become the you. So to transform, how to program yourself to transform. Okay, so say that is our first edit, okay? So what we do here, now that we have our edited version, is we take all of this, we copy it. Oh, no. First we prompt, you know? So go here next to the advanced GPT prompt. So it says make a copy of your writing, all of that. We already did that, so we're good. So the first thing that we're gonna tell GPT is, I have a very advanced request. Are you ready? This is getting the computer warmed up, telling it, okay, we're gonna get this going. And it's saying, yes, I'm ready. Go ahead and tell me your advanced request. I'll give it my full attention. GPT is locked in right now. He's like, okay, what's going on? I would like you to act as an expert English teacher and expert. okay? So we're making him an English expert right now, okay? He says, got it. I'll act as both an expert English teacher and an expert in general communication. Clear, professional, persuasive, okay. What do you want me to focus on? And then it's giving you stuff, but we already have it ready. I'm gonna say this is the prompt, okay? Please make sure the text I send is all correct, including, it's funny, see even here, I have this Grammarly thing, but including grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Then it also says, please do not make any major changes to the wording of the text and keep my original voice. You know, so we're telling it straight up here, we just want to fix the grammar, the punctuation, and any spelling. Don't make any major changes, because we don't want to feel like your natural voice is being stripped away here and that the robot is talking, okay? So please make sure the text I send is all correct, including grammar, punctuation, spelling. Please do not make any major changes and keep my original voice. He says, perfect, understood. When you send the text, they'll correct the grammar, punctuation, and spelling, smooth out what's necessary, no big rewrites, keep your tone, style, and voice exactly as you wrote it, exactly as we wrote it. That's what we love to see. Go ahead and send me it whenever you're ready. Okay, and then this is because we want to build off of it, right? Okay, so the next part of the advanced prompt is, please format this writing in a book format. Do not change any of the text and quotations, because we don't want it to go ahead and change the quotes and stuff like that, because then it's just a whole nother pickle. It says, okay, of course, could you please paste the writing here so I can properly format? Okay, yes, we're ready. Then, you know, GPT is probably like, I'm ready, but we're gonna ask it just to let it know we're about to send this text. This is about warming up the engine, getting it ready. Then we say, are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. And I'll format the book in a proper while preserving all quoted text exactly as it is. All right, so now we are ready. We have gone through the advanced prompt, and you're gonna wanna do that for every time that you're going to edit a new part of the book. Then we copy and paste our paragraph, chapter. When I was doing this, I used to do chapters at a time, you know, or if the chapters were multiple pages, I would do up to 3 paragraphs at a time, 3-4 paragraphs at a time, you know, just because we don't want it to be overwhelming for us to do, you know, a whole page, 3 pages at a time on the GPT. We'll want to make sure that we're moving at a slow, consistent pace, you know. So here it gives me like a title, stuff like that, but we don't need that. We just want this body, and then we copy it, boom, copy, and then we come here and then we paste it in. So then it's just restructured it, and it's even broken it up for us, so that could even look aesthetic on the page. It says, have you ever looked at someone and admired the way they talk, act, or carry themselves? Until the age of 17, I would compare myself to them and feel negatively about myself, thinking, I wish I had that confidence, or look at the way people love him. It was after an experience at a leadership program at the age of 17 that I realized everyone can learn them too. I used to feel sorry for myself, but it took years for me to reprogram and realize my full potential. You are the same way. Yes, you are. God has created us all equal and with free will, so why not use it to our full advantage? Choose your destiny and take control of every aspect of your life. We were all born with no traits, so how could one be better than another? It is all learned habits and ways of acting. In this book, you will learn the biggest takeaways from my experience on how to reprogram yourself to transform. Man, I gotta put that in the book, huh? We gotta get 2.0 out, because this was done marvelously. So family, there we have it. That's how you go ahead and edit, you know, your book. You're gonna want to take this exact same method and go through every chapter. Boom, 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 boom. I would keep it to 5 paragraphs at a time. That's not really for GPT. GPT can take your pages. It can take the whole book probably, but this is more for you. You want to make sure that you're able to take everything in, read it, and all of that, and make sure it's how you want it. Make sure that it's in your voice, that it checks all your quality control boxes. And to me, this looks fantastic. It didn't change any of my wording. It didn't change really anything other than any grammatical errors in there, and help me space it out, make sure that it's all ready. So now I'm confident with, that this has no errors and it can be in my book. So, and also I see here that it changed until the age of 17, because before I had just the number in, yeah. So it's working. Family, that's how you use the GPT, and that is a example on how you can edit your book. Guys, stay at it in this editing process. Don't let anything discourage you. If you fall off the wagon, so be it. Hop back on. You'll be okay. Many people have fallen off the wagon, but you are going to be the one that hops back on. Family, we'll see you. Have a fantastic day and happy writing. We're going to celebrate once you have that book edited, so get yourself ready for the publishing. Or the designing. The designing is next, okay? Get yourself ready for that. Wow, you are the editing GOAT. It's time for designing your book, where your secret sauce can really come out in this book. Let's get into it. Well, hot diggity dog, are you ready to design your own book? I want you to know that you are a champion. I believe in you, and I knew that you could do it from the start. I knew that you could prepare, I knew that you could write, I knew that you could edit, and now we're gonna design, and I know that you're gonna crush this step also, so hats off to you. I see what you're doing, and I'm proud of you. Let's get right into the juicy meat, shall we? Book designing. Woohoo! You have an edited version of your book. That's what I'm talking about. So right now, I'm gonna just go over the software that I use. I use InDesign and Photoshop. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. I use Photoshop to create many of the logos, graphics, and any artwork for the book. Then used InDesign to lay out the book and get it ready to print. So for the book, the cover, the spine, the back, so it was done in a multitude of ways. There's a lot of physical art in the book. I'm gonna show you guys these ones right here. And for something like this, I went to the scanner, put it in the scanner, put it into Photoshop, and then exported it there after touching up some of the colors, stuff like that. Used Photoshop to get it ready, and then think of InDesign more as your placement area. So you place what you've already done into InDesign. You actually make it outside of InDesign. So this is what InDesign looks like. I'm not gonna go into a lot of how to use this right now. I'm gonna show you how to set one up in the next section, but as you can see here, all of these are photos, So this design right here, that's a photo that I just dragged and dropped into my page after setting up the right way. Same with the tape, same with all of these graphics designs. This is just one big photo that I made on Photoshop. Well, drew, scanned it in, took it into Photoshop, then placed it in here, and then did that for all of this. Now, I don't expect everybody to do different artworks. I know that your style might be different. So, that's just how I did it. That's some context. But for you, it could be, smooth sailing, because you might not have to do all of that. So I use Photoshop to create many of the logos and InDesign to lay it out. Get the Adobe Creative Cloud here. Ignore this, I don't get a commission, not yet at least. I only put that there because I thought that I was gonna start getting commissions for this, but guys, I'm not getting a commission for this. I truly, wholeheartedly back Adobe. I use Photoshop, Premiere Pro for video editing, as you guys can see here. Use this for my video editing. I use Photoshop, InDesign. They have everything that you need on Adobe, and it's professional tools. So I totally encourage you to invest in yourself and get one of these Creative Clouds so that you can have access to all of their apps. So here's the Creative Cloud. I've left the link in the author's cheat code. And then make sure to export it as a PDF. I'm gonna show you guys how to do the whole exporting in a different small video. So we'll cover that later. Use the books that inspire you as an inspiration. Do you want sleek, wild, personal, creative, minimal? It's all up to you. Choose your fonts, styles, and stick to it. Look at what other popular books do and see which styles you like best. So the whole designing process, take bits and pieces from the things that you like, put it all together, and you have something brand new that's completely unique and completely your style. Okay, so you're gonna wanna understand book setups. How do we set up a book? Okay, so trim size. When someone says trim size, this is the physical size of the book. So here, this book is around 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So that's your trim size. For an example, a piece of paper is 8.5 inches by 11 inches. Not all trim sizes can be hardcovers on Amazon KDP. So this is something to know, that if you want a really wild trim size, they can make it into a soft cover, but they're not gonna accept all of them for hardcover. So just look at the sizes that they offer. Bleed. Bleed is extra space added to the edges of your book, so if you have art, the art spreads all the way to the edge. This way it can reach the edge without any white showing. You need to do this if you have art that goes all the way to the edge. This is why my book got rejected so many times. Guys, this step was the one that really delayed the releasal of this book, because my book kept getting rejected because of the bleed. So let's go here. I'm gonna show you guys this page for an example. This page right here has artwork that goes all the way to the edge, all the way to the edge. So when you're making the design on Photoshop, what you're gonna wanna make something that's, I'm pretty sure it's 1/4 of an inch bigger than this actual size. Why? It's because if it doesn't have a bleed and they cut it right on the line, you might get white edges showing up. You don't want that. You want a color that goes all the way to the edge, So basically, this is something that I was talking to a customer support for, because I was saying, hey, this is an artistic book, so I'm okay with some of it getting cut off and all that. And he was saying, no, it has to stay in the square in the middle, which looks like this square in the middle here, and it has to go out to the edges for the bleed, because Amazon doesn't want someone to return your book because they think it's defective. I'm sure it's happened to many people. So if you're gonna do a book with art, set up your InDesign and all of your designs with extra bleed, extra space. Margins are the blank spaces between your words and the edges of the paper. So as you can see here, this white space in between the edge right here and my paper, that's about the size of my finger, that is the margin. So you're gonna wanna, this is the gutter / the inside margin. It should be a little bit bigger to make room for the binding. So the binding, the spine right here, it's gonna make it so that the words on the inside of the spine, they get pulled in a little deeper. So it's recommended that the gutter right here, the inside margin, be a little bit bigger, so that people can read those words correctly. So for the tables on what your gutter and bleed should be, go here. So if I'm telling you guys all this stuff and then it's like, well, what do I do? Then what sizes should I choose? Amazon has given us fantastic resources that I've added in the cheat code here, which says exactly what you want to be doing. It has also, explanations for trim size, bleed, and margins. I pretty much just gave you a quick rundown, but it's if you read here, it'll say similar things. So let me see here, and check this out. So they have a table here that has pretty much every size that they offer, with the pages without bleed and the pages with bleed. So if you want to make a book that's 5 by 8, set up your InDesign and your Photoshop at 5.125 and 8.25. So if you're making a book with bleed, I'm going to set the link right here so that you know exactly what sizes to do your book. Okay. Then set all of this up in InDesign and you're ready to start laying out your book. Remember sections and different letter pages when making your pages, tutorial and course for this. So the sections and the different letter pages, what I mean by that is, say here you want to start off your book and you're using, you're on page 10 here. But what about the introduction? What about my preface and all of that? I don't want that to be a normal page, so you can do Roman numerals, okay? I'm gonna show you how to do that in the tutorial section, how to page your, set the numbers on your page. And then I'm gonna show you all of this juicy stuff in InDesign very quickly. So front and the back cover. Next, we're gonna talk about that. So the front and back cover is crucial because it's the first impression of your book and can be used to show your personality right from the start. So, this is just something to consider. It's when people pick up your book or they see your book being advertised, they're gonna see the front and back. So if you can, polish it up, make it look just how you want it to, okay? Use Amazon KDP cover generator to find out your book's exact measurements. Every book is different, and use it to create your front and back cover. So this is the example that I have here. This is my actual file for my cover. This is what it looks like. And all of these are unique, So because every book size is different. It depends on the pages, it depends on everything. So what you're gonna wanna do is go to this link that I've added on the cheat code and then enter your book information. Say you want a paperback that has standard color, white paper, left to right, and inches, interior trim size. Say your book is 8.25 by 8.25 and your book is 200 pages. So calculate the dimensions and check it out. It gives us it pretty much instantly. It tells you where everything should be, how much room for the QR code you should have, and then you can go here to this button that says download template, and then it will give you this image right here so that you can put that into Photoshop and design your cover. So it's actually very helpful, all of the tools that Amazon gives us, and this is the same thing for Barnes and Nobles and the other ways that you can publish your book. They're gonna have these resources for you, like the cover calculator. Take this template into Photoshop and create your PDF cover. Export it correctly. We're gonna go over the exporting settings in the next part of this tutorial. Consider adding a QR code made on qrcodemonkey.com. So this QR code that I have right here, on here, was not something that Amazon provided me with. So it goes to my personal website. So I went here to qrcodemonkey.com, where you can create QR codes for absolutely free, no charge, and you can put any link that you want on here, so you can go to monkeyman.com, and then it doesn't have a URL, but say you wanted to go there, you can go there. You can go to your personal website, your Instagram, just putting that QR code on there will be a W. So you design it using InDesign and Photoshop to your liking, and I showed you how to understand the different wording, stuff like that. So all these resources, the links and everything are gonna be in the author's cheat code. I would say that this is the fun step, because you're bringing your book to life. You can see it in the InDesign, you can put the details that you want. So get ready, because your book is about to come to life, and I'm happy for you, I'm proud of you. You are making your book come to life. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed this step. We're just gonna keep this rolling. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Happy designing. Let's get it. What's cracking? What's cracking? What's lacking? What's lacking? Nothing's lacking. We're blessed. We're crack-a-lacking. All right, so family, we're gonna show you really quick how to set up something in InDesign. So if you want yourself something like this, we're gonna set it up for you. So quickly, we're gonna save. Then when you go into InDesign, you're gonna see new file, and then you're gonna see this default. What are we looking at? Units. Let's change this to inches, and we can see that the width is 8.5 and the height is 11. So it's all up to you, really. Let me just keep it frank, like Frank Sinatra. It's up to you what size your book is. So for me, I chose 8.5 by 8.5, 5.5 by 8.5. So because I like it, I think it's like very portable. You can hold it and all of that, very portable for backpacks. But it's up to you really. We have a whole list here of trim sizes, and also I chose this because you can have a hardcover. Maybe you have a book that you really like. For me, I straight up took this size from the book that inspired me. So look at the books that you like and then choose your trim size. And then if you have bleed, make it this one right here, this size on the left from the chart that I added into the designing part of the author's cheat code. If it's that, just go straight up that size. If you're not planning on having artwork that spreads all the way to the edges, go with this size on the left. But say I wanted to have a trim size of 6x9, but I wanted bleed. So I would choose this one right here, 6.125 by 9.25. So we're gonna choose this and then copy, paste that in, and the height, let's grab the height. Boom, put it here, boom, starting off with one page and we're all Gucci. Margins, it's gonna start you off with 0.5 margins on either side. So this inside margin right here, remember that that's the gutter, you know, so you wanna have that a little bit bigger. So take this link off and you can put this up a bit. Hold up, let me take that off, right? Make all sides the same. Yeah, so we should be able to put the inside up and then bottom and all of the rest of that at the same size. So then you're gonna have this. You have your page here. You can see my inside gutter is a little bit more and the outside is chill. So that's how you set up a page in InDesign. Now, what you're gonna see here on the top right is what's called parent pages. So a parent page, say I have a lot of pages, whatever you put on the parent page is gonna mirror on all of the rest of the pages. And you can have multiple parent pages with different designs. So let's go here, make a new parent, and we'll have B, parent B, okay? And then you have a left and a right side. So say on my parent page, I wanna have the transform logo. Let me see if I can find this real quick. So if you wanna place a photo in InDesign, go to File, Place, and then find the one that you want. Right now we're on the transform. Let's go chapter assets bleed. All right, so let's go to this one. Let's just put in that one. If God never does anything else for me, then I'll be good. Resize this. So find those rulers until it gets to the middle, and then you can go ahead and size it however you like. Okay, so we're gonna grab the photo here. Just grab these outside edges, and we are going to make it bigger. So there we go, grab that, double click it, and we're gonna make it bigger. And now it goes all the way to the edges. There we go. So now we have that, and then you wanna look at these lines right here and make sure that your text isn't going outside of them, because if they are, then they're gonna reject your book because they're saying that it's not in the right margins, because people can return your book and say that it's defective. So you don't wanna have that. They're very, very nitpicky with it, okay? So that's why my book got rejected 9 times. So make sure that you're following these guidelines here in your margins. You're staying outside of these outside lines. So as an example for that parent, now let's say we go here. This is our page, right? Say we go to add another page. Let's add another page by going down here in the bottom right. Add another page, add another page. So as you can see here, every page here that has style A on it, because I put it on the parent, is going to have that photo of Pastor Anthony on the right side. So if you want a different style, you drag the B parent on there and you just, there we go. As you can see, now it says B. Let's say for the B size, you wanted to put a text box that was halfway, because a lot of the times they'll do this for chapters. So we'll say chapter X. So this is why having different kind of parent pages is very helpful, because you can have different parent pages for different things. Here, this is the one that I use for the beginning of my chapters. And then I have my normal ones. You know, if you want to write on your pages, you go here to the T, and then you make just a whole box of typing, and then you can type from the bottom to the top. So once you have InDesign ready, all you got to do is get your actual writing from your edited book. Then you go into InDesign, and then you go into here, you make yourself a text box, and then over here you just copy and paste it. Simple as that. And then you tweak it to your liking with your fonts, with your styles, and all of that. So basically, to set up your InDesign, you're going to want to set it up with the bleeds, the margins, all of that, and then make your parent pages for the styles that you know you're gonna want to repeat. Shout out the birds. All right, family. So that's how you go ahead and do that. Happy designing. We're going to be going over how to add page numbers in the next part right now. All right, family, are you ready? You have your InDesign ready, and now I'm going to show you how to set up your pages. This is really quickly just going to be how you set up your pages. So go here to one of your parent pages, because putting one number on at a time would be very not efficient. And then, so we say we're on parent A. What we're going to do here is we're going to create a little text box here. Let's say page 1. And then of course, switch it to the font that you like. For me, I'm going to use the Mark V2 font. So page 1, okay? Then we're just going to size it to our sizing. For me, I'm going to put it right over here, center it in the middle, all of that juicy goodness. Put it where the ruler says the middle, right there. And then once you have it set up there, select the number and then go to type, insert special characters, markers, current page number. Then you're gonna see it change to an A. You're like, why is it page A? I don't want it to be page A. That's just because it's the parent page A. But if you go here to your actual book, you'll see that it says page 2 and that it tracks. It tracks it automatically for you. So if it's on page 4, then you're all Gucci. So now you have your page numbers on there, but say for this one, you wanted to add the Roman numerals. You don't want it to be, you want it to have a little bit more style, a little bit more swag, and you don't want this welcome page to be counted in there. So we're gonna go to parent page C, which is where I have that set up. So we're gonna go into our page C, do the same thing with the text box. We're gonna go, let's just put a 1 in there because we're not gonna have any pages in there. And also, I mean, of course, you don't need to put your page, you don't have it to say page 1 or page anything. It could just be a number. For me, that's how I did it. But for the same thing, we're gonna go pages, we're gonna go type, insert special characters, markers, current page number. Okay, so there we go. Then once we have that, we're gonna drag it to around the same place, right there in the middle, to our liking. And then when we're on here, hot diggity dog, we got that going. But say we want it to be that Roman numeral, right click here, go to numbering and section options, and then go to style, and then you have options here. You could have 0, 1, 0, 2, all of that, ABC, or you could have the Roman numerals. For me, I like these ones, so I'm gonna choose the ones at the very bottom, and then press OK, and then we have them showing up as Roman numerals. So page X, page this, page that. And that is how you set up page numbers and Roman numerals on your book. So you can switch between the two, and yeah, that's how you get that saucy look on your things. So next, we're gonna show you how to export the books. Let's go. Blessings to you guys. Let's get it. All right, okay, let's go. All right, let's go. Exporting your book. Okay, we're gonna export your book right now. Book. When exporting your book in InDesign, export it as a print PDF, then choose this 2001 setting and set it to all pages. It should look like this. Okay, so when you're in InDesign and say you have this absolute masterpiece, oh, look at my book, so fire. Your book is gonna be even more fire. But check this out. You go File, you go Export, and then you go Export PDF. Let's say here, let's just call it Test. Okay, then you're gonna see settings here. High quality print. Oh, that sounds pretty good. No, don't do it as the high quality print. Go here and put it at 2001. Why? Because this one is made for printing, okay? This one is better. Just trust it and then make sure it's set to all pages and then press export when you're done. And then you are set. Okay, so that's how you export on InDesign. It'll show like this little circle and then your book will be done. You'll be so happy, and you know everyone's gonna be jumping in slow motion. And if you need somebody to come and jump in slow motion with you, call me. All right, call me in the school. All right, so now we're gonna go into Photoshop. So say you have your cover here. You went to this layout link that I gave you. You know, you got your cover and all of that. And after you designed it, you think it looks wonderful. Or maybe somebody designed it for you. It's all chill. Tell them to do this. Before you do anything, go to image and make sure that you're in CMYK color. RGB may look better, it may look more saturated, stuff like that, but it's not gonna be printable. You want this to be a printable format, so go to CMKY. Then, once you're here, go to File, then go to Save As, okay? Then you're gonna name it, you could say hardcover. You're gonna have to have a different cover for the soft and the hardcover. That's just how it is. So let's call this hardcover W, save as copy. There we go. And then click save. Guys, if you hear a little bit of noise, a little hustle and bustle, it's all chill, don't worry. Once you're here in the Adobe PDF preset, go to high quality print, and then you know the deal. No, don't do it. Go here to 2001 and then hit the save PDF. I'm not gonna hit save PDF because this was just to show you, but this is what you guys are gonna wanna do. So now you have a manuscript already exported and you have your Photoshop cover exported. So it's time to celebrate. Because you're gonna go into the publishing phase where you are going to publish your book, get it printed, all of that jazz, and make your dreams come true. So, fantastic guys. God bless you. Thank you for listening to all of these steps. I hope it was helpful. Can't wait to see that book. Let's get it onto the next step. The mountain is coming to a close, my friend, and you're about to publish your own book on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, and your own personal website. So what are you waiting for? Let's get it. Check this out. You are the champion, my friend. And you'll keep on fighting till the end. Bam, bam, bam. You are the champion. You are the champion. If you have made it this far, that means that you have written your own book. And for that, I applaud you, and you are a champion. Wow, what a blessing, right? You are one step away from becoming a published author. Now it's time to publish this book. First of all, we're gonna be going over the basics on publishing your book. And then we will be going over the little tiny details, the secret details afterward. So book publishing, let's get right into it. Congratulations, you have finished your book and now it's time to publish it. So we're gonna be going to AmazonKDP.com. Now for me, I already have my book here, I already have an account, stuff like that. But if you go to Amazon KDP, just look it up in any browser, self-publishing, you'll see that. Then you're just gonna wanna make an account. For me, I already have an account, so they just have me automatically signed in, but it's pretty much just like any account making process. You put in your email, you do all of that. You can optionally put your bank account information where you can get paid out, which I recommend, and all of that jazz. So the upside to Amazon KDP, it's all online. There's no storage necessary, and Amazon takes care of all the fulfillment. No cost for you, it's only profit. So basically, if you publish your book on Amazon KDP, they can go on Amazon and they can just find your book on the Amazon website. And then when it's ordered on here, they can go ahead and Amazon will make it and ship it to you. It's made to order. You don't have to, worry about shipping it. You don't have to worry about, let me make the book, all of that. No. They will do it all for you. So that's the upside to here. And then also down here, I'm going to show you how to do this, all of from the publisher stuff, but we'll get into that detail in a later step. You will have a whole nother section of the tutorial for that. So when you've made your account, make your account, all of that, and add a new book to your bookshelf and fill out, the genre, the description, all of that. When you go into Amazon, let's see here, I'm gonna click create new title or series. It's It's gonna ask me, do I want a Kindle, do I want paperback, hardcover? You're gonna want to do either the paperback, the hardcover, and the Kindle ebook. You could do all three and then have it be under the same one, as you can see here. We have 3 different versions for my book, and I'm gonna be going over pricing with you guys afterward. But basically, they're gonna ask you the language, the book title, your book, and then the subtitle, which is optional. For me, my subtitle, for an example, is 33 Lessons for Transformation and Success. So if that was what you wanted to do, you just put it right there. And then a series, you can add to a series. Say you want it to be, a new series, Harry Potter type book, you can add it to a series. Edition number, optional. I don't have anything for me. Your author, your first name, your middle name, your last name. Pretty self-explanatory here. Contributors, so if somebody helped you write the book, you can add them here. Put the Holy Spirit in there. That would honestly be pretty sick. I haven't seen anybody do that yet. So description, this is where you can summarize your book, all of that. And then, so go ahead and do something like this. And if I'm just keeping it real, I did this on ChatGPT, because what you're gonna wanna do is add a lot of keywords in there. You're gonna look for keywords like, say you're doing self-help, Christian, sci-fi, fantasy, certain things that people would be looking for in the actual search bar, because that will just help new people, random people stumble upon it that haven't, been to your social medias and stuff like that. It will increase the chances that somebody just randomly searches up. So say here we look how to feed birds book, bird feeder book. You want to put a lot of keywords in both your title and in the description. For me, I can't change my title and stuff like that right now because it's already up. But if I were redoing this, I would actually optimize the title for search engine optimization, or SEO. Whenever I say SEO, that means search engine optimization. So for me, a title that I would probably look for in this, instead of having Transform 33 Lessons and Success, I would maybe put Transform Self-Help Book for Young Adults, because it's more likely that someone's going to be looking for self-help book for young adult, and maybe even put Christian in there, self-help Christian book for young adults, because the more keywords that we can put in our title, the better, because people are going to be searching for stuff like that. I doubt people are going to be looking up 33 Lessons for Transformation and Success. So learn from my mistake and put the keywords in your title as well. So description, all of that. I'll actually put a little section with a ChatGPT prompt in here that can make your description, so it's easy for you if that's what you want to do. Publishing rights, I own the copyright and all of that, or this is a public domain. It's up to you. Basically, it means like, can people use it for their stuff, or are you strict? There's nobody allowed to use your book. Sexually explicit images, that's up to you. Reading age, optional. So minimum and maximum. I think for me, I didn't put any for I think maybe I put minimum 18, something like that. Primary marketplace, Amazon.com. That's probably the one they're gonna be doing if you're in the US. If you're not in the US, do any of those other stuff. Answer the adult only question. No. Okay, so choose categories. It's gonna ask categories. For me, it would probably be like psychological or something, teen, young adult, subcategory, personal health. So you can add different categories here. There's 3 categories, main ones that you can choose. So that's up to you as well. You will get it. It's, you could put fantasy, all of that in there. If it's a low content book, which is like journals, notebooks, so it's like lines and stuff like that, you can go ahead and do that. But it's up to you. I don't think that, if you're watching this, I don't think that you're going to be doing low content books. Large print books, as if 16-point greater font. It's up to you if you want to do that. That's for people who sometimes they have trouble reading, or children, stuff like that. Your keywords, so you're going to want to brainstorm some keywords for yourself, whether that be self-help, whether that be psychology, whether that be fantasy. basically you're going to be wanting to put here what people are going to be searching for your book. Okay, and then publishing date and release are the same, so for you, if this is your first book, then yes. If your book was previously published and you just want to put it onto Amazon, then you're going to be doing that. Release date, not eligible. Release my book now for sale. That's what you're going to be doing. So next step would be the content. I'm just going to continue without saving that whole thing because that was just an example. But when, delete it. Let me just delete this real quick. So for here, when you get to content, so for me, I'm going to show you guys, this is exactly my book setup right here. So it's going to give you this KDP ISBN. That's going to be this little barcode on the back. So I would say, yeah, just get it there because it looks more professional and stuff like that. But if you already have your own ISBN, you can go ahead and put that in. So standard color, premium color, black and white. It's all up to you. For me, for the paperback, I did standard color. And then for the hardcover, I did the premium paper, just so that I'll get into pricing afterward, but I would recommend you do the same just so that you can still have a good profit on both sides, and also that you can deliver to both sides of customers who want premium and who want just to read your book. So, and also there's black and white, stuff like that. All of that will determine your price, and it's up to you whether your book has art, stuff like that, or if it's just all words, black and white. Trim size, for me it was 5.5 by 8.5. Like we covered before, that's just the actual size of your book. Bleed settings, no bleed, bleed. So the bleed again is that extra space. So for me it was this, and then I put bleed because it has artwork that goes all the way to the edge. The color finish, if it's matte or glossy, I have an example. Give me a sec. These are some of the ones that got rejected. So I was testing this out. This is what the soft cover looks glossy, and this is what it looks like matte. As you can see, there's a little bit of shine. No shine on this one. It has, this texture is a little bit more, I want to say like pasty, if that's a good way to put it. So there's not a huge difference. However, I think that this one, in my personal opinion, glossy is the way to go. And the good thing is you can order yourself samples to see for yourself. But I would honestly go for glossy because it's more of a classic look. And for me, it looks cleaner. It's all of that. So this is what the normal paper looks like. It's less saturated and all of that. And then the hardcover that has the premium paper, those pages are going to be, the blacks are blacker, colors are more saturated, all of that. And then this is the matte version of the hardcover, and this is the glossy version. As you can see, those blacks are just far more black, so that's why I like glossy on both the paperback and the hardcover. And then, so manuscript, that's gonna be the thing that you download off of InDesign. So upload your manuscript here, then upload that cover file, the print ready PDF only. So that's why we, did the 2001 setting and the CMKY for our PDF from the export section. So yeah, and then they AI generated content, if you do, put that there. If you don't. So check this out. For me, my printing cost was $7. I'm gonna be going over pricing with you in the next section. But yeah, basically you're gonna launch this thing called the previewer, and then it's gonna show you, okay, this is what it's gonna look like. Are you ready to go? And then you say either yes or no, depending on whether or not you want to tweak your book. So that is exactly how to set up your account and publish it on Amazon KDP. Next, I'm gonna be going over pricing, and then once you have the pricing, you just say, I'm ready, let's go. And then it will put it on Amazon for you and get ready to print it. Family, are you ready? That book is about to be launched. You're a champion. And let's go into the pricing section next. What's up, dogs and doggies? Check this out. I'm gonna show you how to price your book using different kind of, just being smart about it, and also giving your customers the best options. So check this out. I recommend paperback, normal paper, glossy cover for hardback, glossy premium paper. Okay, so basically for the hardcover, I recommend that you get the glossy cover and the premium paper on the inside so that, you know, they can have the deeper colors and stuff like that if it's an art book, right? The idea is to have the paperback be your entry-level book, so somebody can spend $20 or $25 to get it, and then the hardcover be your premium anchor. So you can price this one a little bit more premium because it's gonna have the premium paper on the inside, and I mean, it's the hardcover, it has the glossiness and all of that. Of course, if it's a book that doesn't have a lot of art in it, you don't have to get the premium paper, but that's just what I recommend, especially if it's an art book. So check this out. This is the pricing for my book. It's at $25. It costs $7 to print it. I get a $8 return on every book that's sold. So it's not like I'm making, you know, that $18 on every print, because Amazon makes it and Amazon ships it and they get a cut of all of that. So $8 for every book that's sold. That's a pretty good price. You know, I'm using the colored paper in there and I'm using the soft cover. So if you're doing a book that doesn't have any color in there, your margins are gonna be a little bit better. And then for my hardcover, this is what it looks like. I have it priced at $59.99. The printing of it is $20 because it's a lot going on in there. It's a hardcover, it has premium paper, so it actually costs a lot more to make. And then my royalty on it is $15. So the pricing is at $60, but I'm only making $15. So this is just an example for you, you know, because on the outside looking in, they may see a $60 book, that price book, and thinking that you're making stacks, right? But in reality, what you're profiting is actually just a percentage of it. So consider that while you're making your book. You know, if you don't want to have as big of a profit, if you're fine with, you know, making $5 a book, $2 a book, even $1 a book, you know, then you can have it be a very low price. But for me, as someone who put a lot of effort and time into this book, I saw it fit that I made a little bit more on the hardcover that has the premium and the full experience with the artwork, and that I priced the lower one at $25 so that I can make $8 a book and they can still get a really good experience. And I'm gonna show you guys this. So this is what it looks like on Amazon. Hardcover, $59, paperback, $25. So a part of the reason why it's priced like this is because we want to get into the mentality of the customer. We want them to see a high anchored price at $60 so that when they see the price at $25, they say, okay, it's reasonable. It's a good price. So if you want someone who literally just wants to read your book, they're okay with spending that $25 because they see that there's actually a higher price. And then for the people who actually want to fully support you, they want to get the full experience of your book, you can have that higher price point for them and you can get a bigger cut. Also, you can have that downsell ready, which is the Kindle $10, so where they see the paperback in the middle, they see the downsell at the bottom if they just want, you know, the basic, and then they see the upsell, which is the hardcover, which gives you the pricing sandwich, small, medium, large, and then most people will stick around in the middle. And for me, I'm just gonna show you guys what I did. I also had the bundle with the t-shirts and then the bundle with the sweaters. So people were able to, you know, go up or down on the price, and then they can also get different kind of upsells, downsells. I had the PDF ebook on my personal website as well, only for $10, where they just get the manuscript. So it's a W all the way around, because no matter where your customer is at price point wise, you can serve them. So very quickly, that was just covering the pricing. There was a very, very small part of this, but I pretty much just wanted you guys to have that mentality. Don't feel afraid to price your book high or low, because you put a lot of work into it. And I mean, your customer is getting value. They're getting lessons, they're getting entertainment. Depending on which genre you're using, they are getting a good product. So have that downsell ready for the ebook or audiobook. Have that middle ready as, you know, your baseline, you know, $25 to $20. That's probably the best way. And then the hardcover with the premium paper, I would keep it at that premium price. If of course you're just using black and white paper, your margins are gonna be bigger than mine because I was using colored paper. So, you know, if you wanna price your books lower, you can go ahead and do that and still keep a similar profit. So that was just very quickly. I hope that was helping you and kind of gave you my mindset. I would always do the downsell, normal offer, and then your upsell, which is the high offer. So guys, peace out. God bless. Let's get to the next part. Are you ready? This is probably going to be the fastest tutorial yet on the whole thing. So we're going to see if we can speed run it, okay? So this is A+ content, they call it, on Amazon. When you go on Amazon, you publish your book through Amazon KDP, you'll see here that they give you just a default, you know, front and back. But then that's really it, right? So it's like, oh, how do I get good photos of my book on here? A+ content is the way. So you go here and then you see from the publisher, and then you see these sick photos. You know, you can do a photo shoot, all of that. I totally do recommend it, you know. If you want one, hit me up. We'll see if we can get a little something done. No promises. But, you know, hey, if you're seeing this and, you know, hey, we'll see. Just hit me up on the school. All right, so basically through here, we go to Amazon, right? And we're on Amazon KDP. So log into your Amazon KDP account, Amazon KDP. And I'm going to show you how to add that A+ content because it's not immediately obvious. So from here, you have your books and all of that, then go to marketing. Then once you're in marketing, go to A+ content and choose a marketplace. Go to Amazon.com because that's just the normal one, and then go to manage A+ content. For me, as you can see, I have one that's called Transform Creative, and that's exactly what you see here. It shows you what it looks like on desktop and what it looks like on mobile. This is desktop, and this is what it looks like on mobile. And then, so it'll ask for like ASINs, which is the number, like the barcode of your book. So basically then you link this A+ content to an ASIN, and then in no time, lickety split, it will go ahead and pop up on Amazon KDP. Isn't that sweet? How you start creating A+ content is you go here to the top right, it says start creating A+ content, and then you go to add module, but you can also put content name, so your book, and then you go to add module, you click this, and then it will give you a ton of different options here. You can do standard comparison chart, for text, image, and text. That's the one that I chose. Standard company logo, I also chose that. It will also give you the pixel width that you need for that. So this one is 600 by 180. Say that you hop in Photoshop, you just go new, and then you set up something with that that size. So 600 by 180. I'm not gonna, and then you just create, and then you can go ahead and start creating in there. So basically, you're gonna choose which ones that you want, which ones that you like, and then fill in your photos, fill in your text, and that is about it. Simple as that, lickety split. That's how you make some A+ content, all right? So, ciao, peace. So this one might actually be faster than the last one. I'm gonna show you guys how to make an author profile, which is this right here. It has a little profile picture for you, has a little about the author, and then it has your books linked to it. It's not necessary, but if you want to have like a whole cohesive, very professional looking profile, I would say to go ahead and do this because it doesn't take long. What you're going to want to do is look up Amazon Author Central, and go in there, and then it's going to ask you, oh, let us link your book. So go into your Amazon KDP, and then you're just going to want to sign in. So once you're in your Amazon KDP, go ahead and take one of these ASINs, just copy it like that, and then come into here and then paste it in. And then it will show you your book. Basically though, what you're gonna wanna do is, you're also gonna wanna make an account. So go into here, just sign in to your email and stuff like that. Use the same way that you set up your KDP account, just for, you know, ease. And then this is what my seller/author central looks like. So it has my book in there. You're gonna want to go into here once you're done setting up your account, go to books, and then add your book. So pretty much just like how we did in the beginning, search up your book and then add it onto your author profile. Then once you're here, you can add your biographies, you can edit them, you can upload a profile picture, and then they also have some very snazzy things that you can do on here, which is the reports and the marketing, see your sales and different ways to promote your book on Amazon. And then, I mean, it pretty much just makes a little account for you. There's a lot of stuff on here like the Kindle Create. That's how you make a Kindle book, pretty much the ebook version for Amazon. But that's pretty much it. I wanted to just quickly show you how to make an author page on Amazon. So go to Amazon Author Central, make an account, link your book, and then fill up the information that you want. And then you will have a very professional looking profile on Amazon. So on to the next section, guys. Let's keep this roll going. Let's get it. All right, how do we make a Kindle ebook? So how do I get this one for $9? I'm gonna show you that really quickly because it's not gonna take your PDF. It's not gonna be like your personal website, which I'm gonna show you how to make a personal website later. It's not gonna be like that to where you can just sell the PDF on its own because they wanna have it ready for their Kindle tablets and all of that. So what you wanna do is go to this link right here, amazon.kindlecreate, and then go here. This is what you're gonna see, download for PC or download for Mac, whichever you have. And then you're gonna have three different options. Reflowable, which is gonna basically reflow the text and all of that. Comics and kids, mostly used for comics, graphic novels, and children's books, or print replica. So the print replica is the chef's kiss right here. A fixed layout, mostly used for textbooks, cookbooks, magazines, or other image-heavy books. For me, that was the best choice. If you're doing it mainly text, I could see reflowable being the one. But for me, because my book was very image-heavy, it had a lot of images all the way throughout, the print replica was the way to go. So go here, click on this, and then download the app, Kindle Create. For me, I already have it here. As you can see, March 2025 and all of that was the last time that I opened it. It's because I have, revamped the book and all of that. So when you're on the Kindle Create, go to Create New, and then go to Choose. And then for me, it was the print replica. For you guys, it could be either or. And then you give yourself a book title, you give yourself an author name, and you give yourself a publisher URL. Then choose the file. Okay, what file do we want to use? For me, we'll do the transform pre-copy. We'll just go ahead and do that. And then as we can see, it gives me a fantastic looking version of transform, or your book that's just gonna be here, however many pages. And because it's, because it's a PDF and it's a fixed size, we don't have to do any of this. I tried to do the reflowable before and it just jumbled up my entire thing. So just go ahead and put your PDF in here and then go to export, and then it's gonna give you this .kpf version, and that's the one that you're gonna wanna use. That's the only type of file that Amazon KDP will take for an ebook because it's their own and all of that. So once you have that, then go back into here, go to create new title or series, and then get the Kindle ebook, and then pretty much the same thing, build it off of your last one. And then when it goes to the content, you're going to want to put the .kpf file. So there we go. Basically, download the Kindle Create, upload your PDF, and then upload that new .kpf file, which it gets from your PDF, onto Amazon KDP. 3 simple steps, and the links are down below for you. So now you can have an effective downsell and give yourselves a way to serve those customers who say they like the ebooks better. This is all about serving that customer, giving them each price point so that no matter where they are, they can go ahead and get your fantastic product. Guys, let's move on to the next step. Let's get it. All right, family, really quickly, I'm just gonna explain what author copies are and how to get them. So author copies is a copy of your book that you can get for the made price of the book because you're the author, right? So if this book that's $25 costs $7 to make it, you can get those books at cost. So that means that you can actually buy each of them for $7. And effectively, this can make your profits better. So if you sell the book on Amazon for $60, you're only gonna get that $15 cut like we covered before. However, if you were to get an author copy, you could buy it at price for the $20, and then you can sell it in person and actually have that $40 margin. So you can play around with that $40, because it's in person. You could say something like, hey, we're taking out the shipping cost, we're taking out the making cost. I can offer this for you at $40. And then since it's price anchored at $60 online, they have a bigger incentive to buy it because they say, oh, it's $60 value, I'm getting it here $40 because you're taking out that shipping and all of that. So once your book is on there, it's as simple as this. You go here to order author copies, and if you don't see it, like how this one is, you go here to the three dots, and then you can put order author copies. Order author copies right here. So just an example, we're gonna get that. And say I wanted 50 books, and then select your marketplace, and then it's gonna add that to my cart. And then as you can see, I'm getting 50 books at the $7 cost, and then we're getting the $347 price right there. So that's a lot better than if you were to buy it on the actual website, because then you're getting it at normal price. So I completely recommend this. This way you can actually sell them on your personal store too. This is what I did. This is how I got a huge box of them and sold them on my personal store, which thankfully was blessed, and they were able to sell out. And then with these ones, the difference is, since that you're gonna have them in hand, you can actually sign them, personalize them, and potentially sell them at book fairs, swap meets, and different locations like that. So that's the advantage of having author copies. The one thing to consider is that with author copies, you're not going to have a priority on the shipping. So since Amazon has customers, those people who buy on Amazon are gonna get priority, and they're gonna get their books within 2-4 days, around there. Basically, if they have Amazon Prime, they could probably get it within 1 to 2 days. But since you're the author, they're gonna move you down the ladder, and they're gonna fulfill your order later. So, it's probably gonna take you a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get your books in. But if you're thinking about doing a launch, this is very useful because you can plan ahead of time and get your books for a lower cost. You can sign them, and you can sell them in person and do all of that jazz. So that is how you get author copies. Then after I show you how to do it on Barnes & Nobles, I'm gonna show you how to sell them on Shopify, which is where I sold my author copies on. So stick around, and you're gonna see exactly what the next steps are to have a clean and complete launch. Peace out. Ooh, check out how juicy this looks. The book on Barnes & Noble. And hardcover, paperback, all of that. So I'm gonna show you how to publish your book on barnesandnoble.com right now. And spoiler alert, it's very, very similar to the Amazon KDP. So here I say pretty much the same thing as Amazon KDP. I did Barnes & Noble more for an authority social proof. People say, whoa, it's on Barnes & Noble, and you could say yes, because it's true. Once it's on their website, you can even go locally to sell in store and potentially have them hold stock of it. So the reason why I personally did Barnes & Nobles is not because I thought that I was gonna get a lot of sales on there. I used this to leverage it and kind of show that it's an authority. People will look and say, oh, your book must be legit, it's on barnesandnoble.com. Some of them will also choose to buy through there, and at the same time, because it's on barnesandnoble.com, you have the potential to actually go and sell there in person, which I'm gonna be talking about later on. So I've added the link here. It's press.barnesandnoble.com, BNN Press, and then it's gonna look like this: self-publish your books with Barnes & Noble Press. And you go here and just create an account. It's very similar to Amazon KDP. Just put your email and all of that jazz with your bank account information and all of that, and you should be good. Once you sign in, this is gonna be what it looks like. As you can see, the books are here. You're gonna wanna go to create a new book, print or ebook, and then go ahead and fill out all the information. They ask for the book title, the genre, the description, pretty much everything that you did on Amazon KDP, you're just gonna do it here. So again, you're just gonna want to make an account, add banking, add book, soft and hardcover, make new covers for this version, and then publish. Easy as that. Why do I say make new covers for this version? It's because the Amazon and the Barnes & Noble warehouses are different and they have different machines that make the books. So you're gonna want to adapt your cover to the new dimensions that Barnes & Noble gives you. It's pretty much the exact same process. As you can see here, when they're asking for the book size and type, you're going to be able to see all that, and then they are going to give you a new size for the cover. Follow the exporting rules that we covered before and you should be good. So a pro tip, a super pro tip that I'm about to put you on right now is that, check this out, Barnes & Noble's has the hardcover with dust jacket. So these books, the hardcovers, they don't have that paper that, you know, goes and folds over. That's called the dust jacket. But on barnesandnobles.com, they do offer that. So here's what I would do. So pro tip, Barnes & Nobles offers hardcovers with dust covers if you would rather use those for your author copies. I did this just so there are 3 versions of my book: hardcover, hardcover with dust cover, and paperback. So you can have 3 versions of your book, one with a dust cover, because Amazon KDP does not have dust covers. And if you like the dust covers and want to sell those in person for your author copies, you can actually get them off barnesandnoble.com. The one thing is they require a little bit more design work. So as an example, I'm gonna pull up the Barnes & Noble's cover here. So as you can see, I have more space on my left and on my right. And I actually really do want to order this in because I want to see what this looks like in person. I haven't seen it yet. But basically, those extra parts on the side that aren't the back are going to be used to fold into the book and hold the dust cover in place. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself a hardcover with a dust cover, this is the way to do it. So that's how you put your books on barnesandnoble.com. From there, you can actually go into the store and tell them, hey, my book is on barnesandnoble.com. Can we order some copies in here? And can I do like a little pop-up? And they will either tell you yes, or they will give you a time where a lot of different other authors will be there. And you can go ahead and post up, say, hey, I'm gonna be here on this day, come through, come through. So just go ahead, go to the website that I put on the author's cheat code, and you'll be able to sign up on barnesandnoblepress.com for absolutely free. Why do they do this? It's because Barnes & Noble is a business too, and if they can get customers from you, then they're gonna go ahead and do it. So it's a win-win. You're on Barnes & Noble gets a cut, and everyone's happy. You can get dust covers and all that. So are you ready for the next step? You're on Amazon, you're on Barnes & Noble, and you're about to be on your own personal website, baby. Woohoo! Gonna get a hey yo, gonna get a hallelujah. All right, fellas. So I'm gonna show you how to do that in the next step. Let's get it, let's go. So your own personal website, how does it go down? I'm gonna show you right here. Personal website publishing. We're gonna keep it quick and simple. We're gonna tell you use Shopify. You might hear people say use Wix, use Squarespace, use this, use that to make your own personal website. And those are fine and dandy. But if you're gonna sell, use Shopify, because Shopify is the website builder that has been specially made for e-commerce. E-commerce is selling products online. So sign up for a Shopify store here. I get a commission link and you can get a free trial in the first 3 months for $1. So consider signing up, thank you. Unlike the Adobe one, this one is actually one that I do get a commission link. So if you guys want to help support, that would be greatly appreciated. So check this out. You can go in, bring your ideas to life for $1 a month. And, you know, I back Shopify 100%. I've been using Shopify since I was 14 with my first clothing line and then all the way up. So I highly recommend it. If you've ever seen a website with this purple checkout, that's Shopify. And check this out, you can connect it to Instagram, TikTok Shop, Google, and all of that. So if we look here for Leon Ministries, we have it connected to our Instagram so that you can actually shop through the Instagram app. And also we have it here on the TikTok Shop. So I'm only showing this to you because this is something I use all the time, and I actually use it for my own personal store. I'm gonna show you right here. MarkJRomero.com uses Shopify, and I'm gonna show you pretty much what you need to know about it. Here's the deal. I recommend this if you're looking to sell more things such as physical or digital products in the future. Also, if you want to do merch like t-shirts, clothing, etc. However, make sure you're getting your investments worth. There's a free trial, then after that it is $40 a month. However, you can get the first three months for $1. Build yourself an aesthetic store, add your product, then add your banking info so you can start accepting orders and getting paid out. When they place an order for a signed author copy, either ship it out or hand deliver if they are local to you. You can also use this to sell the PDF version as an online ebook using Big Download, an extension for digital products. Shopify is a powerful tool for online entrepreneurs, so I would recommend getting familiar with their software so you can build yourself a business in the future or now. So I recommend getting started on Shopify because it's a skill that you can actually use, and other companies could even potentially pay you to run their Shopify for them. If all that sounds good, I would consider using the investment, but if you don't think that you're going to be using it a lot, then I would also consider that maybe you just stick to the Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Setting up an account is super simple and pretty much just like any account setup. Put your Gmail, all of that, then your card and all of that, and then you're gonna see this. When you're adding your book, you go here to the products on the left, and then you go ahead and you click this thing called Add Product. We're gonna take a look at my Transform author signed copy and just show you what I put. Signed version of Transform, oh yeah. And then I just put the same exact description that's on Barnes & Noble's and on Amazon. And then here, because it's my own special website, I can put these sweet, awesome looking photos that we actually took with my friend Robert. They're all here. You can see these super high quality photos, and you can potentially do the same if you're looking to do this. You could put it in a category like print books, and then you go down here and you can add variants. So for me, I put the paperback and the hardcover, $25 and $60. Then you put the genre, the book cover and type and all of that. And then once it's on there, it's pretty much ready to go. The only thing is with Shopify, you actually build your own website. So here, if you go to online store, you can see themes and such stuff like this. And then you go to the customizer. Here you play with the colors. For me, I put a gold gradient as the color, and then you put the product covers and all of that. And it may seem like a big step, building your own online website, but I can tell you straight up that Shopify is the easiest way to do it. I was able to learn at 14 years old, so you could probably do so and get your site going within a day. They make it very easy to put all of this here, absolutely zero coding. You just go here on the left and there's a menu where you can put things like small, medium, large, and you can customize your site exactly how you want. And like I was saying, you can do things like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok apps that will let you sell on their platforms. For me, I am using an app that's also an additional $10 a month that's called Big Digital Download. Basically, this allows me to do things like send presets to people, digital products, and when they buy, they'll get their link instantly. So if you've ever got any of my editing assets, this is what has sent it to you. You can add a digital product, and here you can see with all my editing stuff. If we go down here, you can see the PDF ebook, and this is such a simple way to make a little bit of money because you put it in here and you just upload your manuscript as a downloadable file. No extra work, you just put the PDF in and there we go. And also if you have an audiobook version from just recording yourself on a mic, you can sell it on there too. So the thing to understand about Shopify is that people are going to pay you and then you are responsible for actually fulfilling the order. Unless you're using that digital product app or you're doing something like print on demand, which I'll talk about right now. The print on demand is just something for t-shirts and stuff like this. This is an app called Printful. If you go through them, you can put designs on t-shirts and stuff like that. And when people buy that product, they will take care of all the fulfillment for you. This is how I did this one, which is the Do Self-Respect poster that you can actually see up here. Shopify will give you discounted printing labels, but getting things like bags, boxes, and any sort of materials for shipping is on you. So that's the big difference between using something like Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, and Shopify, your own personal one. Here on Shopify, you get the books in yourself and you're responsible for the fulfillment. However, there's a lot of different upsides because you have a bit better profit margin, you can sign the books, and you can offer different things. For me, I actually put different kind of bundles on here. So there's a t-shirt and a book bundle that if they bought one of them, I would send them a t-shirt and a book at the same time. You could do similar things, and if you're a beginner, I would definitely just tell you that you can do it. It may seem like a big step, but I would say that it's a valuable skill to learn because a lot of people won't take that step to learning it. To add your own special name to your site, you just go down here to domains, and then you're gonna buy a name for your store. For me, I chose markjromero.store. And for you, you can choose different things like .com, specialsally.com. So I just highly recommend Shopify. You can get a, stunning looking store like this, and you don't even have to pay anybody to build it. You could just do it yourself. If you have any questions on Shopify, feel free to reach out to me on school, and I could do my best to explain a little bit to you. At least right now that my schedule is a little bit more open, I don't know how it'll be in the future. So that's how you make a personal website. You open a Shopify account, you set up your products and your site, and then you are responsible for fulfillment. So that's all you need to know for the personal website. And yeah, let's get into the next part. Oh, yeah. If you have followed everything down to the wire, that means that this is it. You have written, edited, published, designed the whole enchilada. You have done all of it, and I congratulate you. You really are a champion of life, in fact. Not that many people do what you have done, and for that, you have my respect. Now, let's go over a quick, brief way to do some more selling. So this is not publishing, this is more just like, we have our author copies, now what do we do? So Barnes & Noble is another one. I have mentioned this briefly before. Barnes & Noble, you can go into the store and tell them that you're on the website. Say, hey, I'm already on barnesandnoble.com. They will order copies in for you and potentially hold you there during one of their set times for authors. So if you're big enough, you could potentially, get yourself a little table and hold your own signing and all of that there. Another thing that you can do is wait until they have, little fairs to where they'll have multiple authors, and then, ask to be on their next lineup. And then if your book performs well, say you are the next superstar, you can actually just have your books in their store if they sell well. So another thing is local book fairs. Amazing opportunities locally. Just do a little searching around. For me, I know that there was a Santa Clarita book fair, and it was only like $40 a ticket. I actually bought myself a spot to go there, but unfortunately, or actually fortunately for me, I was blessed and I was traveling during the time, so I had to cancel my ticket. So another thing that you can consider is flea markets, swap meets, and farmers markets. If there's local farmers markets, Ventura, Santa Clarita, Los Angeles, Silver Lake, different areas, if you go to their websites, you can buy yourself a ticket, be a vendor there, and potentially sell there. And last but not least, for in-person selling, out that trunk trapping. If you want, you can have a few books with you at all times. If you want to close sales on the road, up to you though. It's up to you whether you want your books always to be available. If you, say, oh, limited, it adds a little layer of scarcity. But if you're making a profit, go ahead and do the out the trunk trapping and just, sell to anybody on the street. For me, I even went as far as to do a little bit of door-to-door sales because I was struggling with sales in my first week. So I didn't get any door-to-door sales, but I did get someone who gave me like $20. They just wanted to support. They didn't want a book. So that was lit. All right, audiobook, another way to utilize it. This is something I haven't done yet, but I plan on doing. Spoiler alert, I'm actually working on it right now. This little author's cheat code course has inspired me to do this. So this is something I haven't done yet, but I plan on doing. Audiobooks are genuinely very strict on audio quality, so I recommend recording yourself talking on a high quality microphone with no background noise. I use this mic. So the mic I use is the it's called the Shure MV7. Shure is the industry giant. You may have seen a ton of their podcast microphones. This is the budget version. So if you don't want to spend $500, you can get their $300 version. I know it's still a lot of money, but if you want to make that investment, it's up to you. You could also use different microphones. I can't vouch for any of the other ones. This is the one that I personally use, so I can vouch for it. Also, I use these Rode ones. And also, just letting you know, this is a affiliate link, so if you choose to buy it, that would mean a lot because I get a little commission on that. So I'm not going to go into detail on getting your audiobook on Amazon because I haven't done it yet, but here's a tutorial on it. So I'm not the expert on this, so I can't say anything on it yet, but if and when I do publish mine and it's accepted onto Audible, I will show you guys exactly how I did it. And this is how I plan on selling my audiobook. However, you can easily sell this on your own personal website as a digital product. Use your audio files that you record, put them all together to your liking, and export the whole book as an MP3. I did this on Premiere Pro. So I'm putting it together right now on Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm just gonna put the whole thing together and potentially also, make little sections. And then I'm just gonna put it on my own personal website. The other things like Amazon, it may be more strict, so I don't know if mine is gonna get accepted because I've been recording it here in my room. However, Romero Dios, Lord willing, it will be accepted onto Amazon. However, at the very least, I can use it as a digital product on my store. Okay, so from there, use your Shopify account and add the big digital download app to add it as a digital product, put your price on it and have it on there. You can also use this as a bonus. Once you have an audiobook, a PDF, it costs you nothing to add it as a bonus to other products and stuff like that. So for me, as an example, if I wanted to, I could even say, buy the author's cheat code, get the PDF and the audiobook for free. It's a bonus, it's an incentive for the customers. So these are things that you create it once and you can recycle and reuse it and find different ways to give it to people. I may even start giving it for free in the future. I don't know. So, just because I actually do think that Transform has a lot of value in it, emotionally, spiritually, and all of that. So family, that was the final little bit in this course. You did it. Good stuff. I pray that your book can touch many lives. From your number one fan, Mark Jonathan Romero. I'm rooting for you, and I'm, stoked, proud of you for going ahead and taking action and doing all of this. I'm being for real. Not that many people do stuff like this. So you're a legend. And yeah, I'll just hit a quick mighty prayer over you. Thank you, Lord, for my friend who has just published their first book. May it go to glorifying you and helping your people. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Just a little something quick. Guys, you've reached the end of the road. And if you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up on the school. And also, the bonus course is if you want to learn how to market your book, it'll be available. So you've done all the publishing and all of that. Now is the time to lock it in with that social media marketing and crush it. So if you want that, it's also going to be on the school. God bless you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace out. Yeah, you did it. Publish. Hold up. You hear that? Now it's time for a few bonuses if you want them. A case study on how I was able to use social media to advertise my book and sell it out. Let's take a look. Enjoy. What's up, you rapscallions? It's time for the bonus book marketing course. Now, let's get right into it. I'm not a marketing expert, so do not take my advice as the best way to do things. But I like to think that I learn from the best people in the space. At any rate, remember, if you do enough cold and warm volume, you will reach people and find out what works best for you. So that's just me, giving that quick, disclaimer. I can only share with you what I have done and what works for me. I haven't gone to school for the marketing. I'm not, top of the charts, but I can share with you what worked for me. So long story short, you should be making social media content to market your book. This is a little breakdown of some things to remember. Usually for selling, these are some key principles to remember. Social proof and testimonials. So when you're making something, people want to buy something that they see other people that they know, or just other people in general, that they like it, and that they see that it works. There's maybe a testimonial, something like that. So maybe even consider giving some books out for free for these reviews. Authority proof would be something like news stations and established companies. So this is a big reason why we go for Barnes and Nobles, because, you know, are more people gonna buy on Barnes and Noble than Amazon? In my opinion, probably not. However, having Barnes and Nobles as a company saying that you're on their website adds an authority proof. It's saying, oh, this guy's legit. This guy, you know, is on that website and all of that. There's also a way that you can pay for news stations to cover your book. That's, you know, you can get on Fox and stuff like that. I will add a little something in there, a link on the school for you to check that out. I haven't done it yet, but I heard that it works. Scarcity / exclusivity to make people want it, which is, you know, oh, there's only this amount of books left. We had the limited run of the author signed copies. Avoid saying things like discount, say limited time offer. As much as you can get somebody to think that what they're getting is exclusive and that they're in the club, that's gonna be what you wanna do. Persuasive speaking. So just go ahead and, you know, be careful with the words that you use. Like I was saying, avoid saying things like discount, things that cheapen the product. You wanna make it, you know, raise that level. Okay, build anticipation. My book's coming in 6 months, or I spent X amount of time writing my book. This is what it covers. Something that I think I could have done better in my launch was building anticipation, because I was Mr. Rambo and I didn't tell anybody that I was writing a book until it was dropping. That was like one of my things. I didn't want anybody to know. But if we're just keeping it real, that's not the best way to market the book. Let's look at Alex Hormozy. He just had a book launch that did $100 million in revenue. And he's had this book in the top right on his channel for years now. It was covered, but it was saying coming soon. He let people know that it was coming, and then that sparks people's interest. That says, oh, it's coming. You can even give a sneak peek on people, show them, okay, a little bit of my writing process. This is how it's going. For me, I just kind of did like this quick post. You know, it was a little iPhone video, and I knew that I just had to quickly announce it, you know, so I did it on my iPhone. Hey, pretty lit though. You know, just letting people know what it was about, and then it was three of these. So one for young adults, one was like, when is the Spanish translation coming? And it's like, what makes me qualified to write the book? So that was how I did a little bit of the launch. And then something to also consider is to engage with your audience, asking them questions about what they see and what they're curious about for the book. Because some people, they're going to see that you have a book, they're like, okay, I want to support this guy, but I have no clue what this book is about. So go ahead, make some posts on IG, make some posts on your social media saying, ask me questions, what do you want? And you can even add your own questions in there and answer the questions. Like, let's keep it real. I did that, I think, for 2 of them, because there was a question I thought that was important that nobody asked, and I just put it in there. You know, you don't have to say that somebody else wrote the question. You can keep it honest and just say like, oh, check out this question, you know, and then just, there we go. And then for 4 ways of selling, we're gonna cover that in a little bit. But for right now, we're gonna look at myself as a case study, right? So what did I do that allowed me to sell out of the book even when I only got 2 sales in my first day? If you want to skip off, if you don't want to see the Mark marathon on how I sold my book, you can go ahead and skip off. But I'm just gonna look and do a case study on my my channel and show you guys what exactly I think was the biggest key. Okay, so here it was the story post. I have this whole highlight that will show you my story post where I was heavily intentional with authority and social proof. So check this out. This guy, Catalan Luis, it was a guy who offered me an interview after I did this post, and I ran an ad on it. I think I paid something like 20-40 bucks, and you know, somehow it reached him. I was blessed because he reached out and he said, let's do an interview. But he normally does his interviews on iPhone. I brought my cameras, I brought my mic, and I wanted it to look very professional. If he wouldn't have reached out for me, I would have done it with like my uncle or my brother. I'm just keeping it real. Like I would have found a way to make it look like I was on a podcast. So we actually did the full interview unscripted, but check this out. I actually have the scripts for the actual questions that we were going to use for the short form content. So what makes me qualified to write the book? What makes this book especially good for young adults? These are selling points for the book. Why is it for young adults? Why should they trust you, for writing the book? So these are things that I knew I wanted to hit beforehand, so I actually wrote the questions. If you want to cover different topics of your book, be intentional with that, because you might have a selling point that nobody knows about, but only you. And then, we, edited this up looking very nice. If you want to see how I edit, go to my The Creative Guru channel. I have tutorials on how I edit. And then, so basically we did these ones that show authority, they answer questions, and then here I'm building anticipation. I'm saying less than 1 day before the book drops. Does every chapter have scripture? This is me, answering questions and interacting with my viewers so that they can be interested. They can, have a part in this launch. So here we go. Then stuff like this, out now, different posters. Guys, even the quality of your posts acts as a authority social proof, because when you take your time and you're doing these designs and all of that, it just looks really nice. And yes, it is an extra step and it is extra effort, but that's what it takes if you want to get to that next level. I'm actually here, all this paper stuff, all of that. I'm using my Magnificence Paper Assets Pack. It's actually also available on my Creative Guru page. And, hopefully I'll be able to do tutorials on how to do graphic design like this on that page as well. So here I paid my friend Robert, who's a photographer, to come with, snap some photos of me. I, planned out this photo shoot, and I used what's called Peerspace. So Peerspace is a completely free app, but it's basically the Airbnb for different venues. So check this out, peerspace.com. They also have an app. So you can browse spaces, say activity, photo shoot. And this is gonna be how I got that venue for this photo shoot. So plan that out, plan out a little photo shoot, get yourself with the book. People wanna see you with the book. You gotta be there almost as, for lack of a better term, the guru behind the book. Like, why does your book work? Why is your book awesome? Why, people are gonna be looking at you as the representative for your book. So I would consider putting your face in there and advertising it, So took some time and did all of this graphic design. I think it was like the night before. And, here are some of the photos we got. Put these up on strings and really thought about the photos before we took that shoot. Those were all planned. And then once the book is launched, guys, I had two sales in my first day. So what you're gonna see next is what was able to generate the rest of the sales that were able to sell out. I was showing the process, signing it, making it for them, social proof with like people who bought the book. I have my friend Manny here, like we're doing ads, we're doing comedy ads, that people like things that'll make them laugh, and then photos, like look at this is social proof right here. Like, wow, look how many orders. People want to buy something that they see is low on stock, oh, t-shirt size XL bundle sold out. I only had like 2 XL shirts, but once it's out, it's out. You get to say it's sold out. And we got social proof, sending it to people, hey repost, hey repost. This is my prima right there, my cousin. More orders going out today. Snap a photo of the orders, different location. It could be the same order, but since we're driving it to the post office, it's like, all right, let's do it. Amazon right there, 5-star review, any sort of proof is gonna be a W. More questions, more social proof, order here. Make sure you're having your call to action, and then more social proof, guys. Like during the launch, I was scrambling, I was running around, but that's the Lord is good, and He allowed it to sell out because of that. I'm out here posting photos, taking photo shoots, like more testimonials. Hey, I wanted to give you my initial thoughts. I've been struggling recently, and this has helped me. Like honest reviews, like people like that stuff. Raffles, let's give it away for free. And it's just like basically consistency. Just people like seeing behind the scenes. They like seeing how it was made, and they like seeing that process. If they know that you put a lot of work into it, they're gonna like it, and that may draw them to buy it if they're on the line. And if you have something that you put a lot of effort into, you're gonna want to push it. Like you have something worthwhile, you should feel good selling it. Like check this out, you're the packaging master, like showing them how their orders are coming to them. Like people like to see this stuff. So that's a case study on my end. Basically the scarcity is like posting, hey guys, 70% sold out, only 2 left, only this left. And it's like you could have 50 books, and then once you get to 25 sales, it's like low stock, halfway done. It's like it's all about how you frame it. So the key elements to remember is social proof, whether it's authority or people around you. I like how that little thing comes up. Scarcity, and putting yourself out there, showing the process behind the scenes. Show the process, show the social proof, and then get that scarcity in. And also for me, it wasn't just all posting on social media. I had sent at least, I'm not even trolling, over 200 messages that said, hey, here's a discount, shout out you because you're a day one. And looking back on it, I could have like framed that better, like saying, hey, we're gonna take out the shipping costs, here's a low discount or something, just so that it doesn't just look like I'm lowering the price. But hey, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. And for me, that's what it took. It was a lot of reaching out, so be prepared for maybe it's not selling like hotcakes right off the way, and be ready to put in that work. That's the case study, and my little TED talk on social media marketing. So next in the marketing course, we're going to talk about a little bit of outreach, and then ads, stuff like that. So post-drop marketing, ask people for testimonials, show packaging and signing process, offer discounts to close friends, and then keep it pushing no matter what until you run out of the books. If you do enough posting, if you just keep pushing, you will get it. The Bible says that the harvest will come, the season of reaping will come if we do not give up. So don't give up. All right, that was this little case study and my TED talk on social media marketing. Hope that helped. On to the next part. Hello family, we're going to cover very quickly warm and cold outreach. There are 4 types of ways of selling. So one-to-one warm, which is people you know. Examples, in-person customers and DMs. So you're reaching out to people you know one-on-one for that sale. Makes them feel special, and that they're the only person that are in the world, because you're one-to-one. Then one-to-one cold, people you don't know. So examples of this would be door-to-door sales, DMs, and cold calls. So this is just the same thing, one-to-one, but people you don't know, new people. One-to-many warm, people you know. Examples, social media. So here you make one thing and then you give it to many. So this could be, social media. This could be, say you're giving a speech in front of people. That's one-to-many. Then one-to-many cold, people you don't know. Examples, paid ads. So I have here a little chart to help you visualize this, one-to-many and one-to-one. So warm is one-to-one, that email and the DM, and then the social media. Here's what I recommend. For me, the best performers was warm, hands down, on the social media and on the DM. So people I knew, people I saw that were watching my stories, I DM'd them and sent boom, 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 at least 200 cold DMs. It took time, but if you want it, go ahead and go for it. Then cold, I actually did do door-to-door. I did do some cold DMing, and I did do some paid ads. The paid ads, I didn't get a lot of return on my ad spend, ROI, ROAS they call it. So I didn't get much ROAS, didn't get return on ad spend, but I did it more for an experiment to see which of these would work out best. And I also did the door-to-door more as an experiment to see which one of these would work out best. So what I would recommend, that if you're gonna do paid ads, make sure the ad is good, high quality, and that it targets a certain type of audience. I'm not the ad expert, so, go ahead and find somebody who really knows what they're doing and learn from them. But what I can say is that I'm gonna explain these 5 types of people to advertise to. So I'm gonna talk about goated ads by Alex Hormozy. It's a concept. So I'm gonna talk about that in the next part so that you can know exactly how to apply this cold one-to-many in your paid ads. And then basically DM everybody, post on social media, do your paid ads if you can, and then if you can do door-to-door, go for it. I mean, I didn't see a lot of sales in that one, if I'm just keeping it a buck. I got like one person that gave me money just because they wanted to support, not because they actually wanted the book. But all of that was good. DMs, reaching out to people who are somewhat warm, people that you haven't talked to in a long time. It all works out. So I would recommend it. Go ahead and consider these ways to sell, these 4 types of selling, and just put in a lot of numbers so that you can get a good idea of how each of them works. All right, let's get to the next part. Blessings. Goated ads by Alex Hormozy. So this is a concept that many other people have covered, getting to the funnel and serving each type of your customer. But the way that I learned it was from Alex Hormozy. So there are 5 types of people to market to. 1, the people who are problem unaware. You get them with a curiosity hook and keep them with a curiosity loop. When they get problem aware after you tell them about the problem, then you get them with a pain driven hook, and then you give them pain relief in your ending. Solution aware, these are people that now after you give them the pain relief, now they know the solution, they know what they need to do. From there, you get them with that promise hook and a big specific promise, which is your product. Then once they know about your product, you give them a proof driven hook, which could be a testimony or something like that. And you give them with the proof and credibility. And then the most aware people who know about your product, then you give them an offer driven hook, which is an offer or a deal or a discount. So check this out. This is a little chart that I made for this. Pretty sweet looking. We have people up here, why do I even need that book? Then they know about the problem, Then they're solution aware, then they're product aware, and then they're most aware. Here is some examples, because what's the point of giving you all that information if you don't know how to apply it? I want you to be able to apply this. So for the people who are problem unaware, you get them like this. And I'm using Transform as an example, self-help book. Young people often grow up confused and can have their self-esteem drop if they have the wrong influences. What they need is God and solid principles to build their life on. So here, I'm giving them that curiosity hook, letting them know about the problem, which is young people that have their self-esteem drop with the wrong influences. I'm getting that curiosity loop by, okay, what do they need? Now that they're aware of the problem, now they've moved on to step 2, I'm gonna hit them with the pain hook. So when you're growing up in high school and college, sometimes you never feel good about yourself. But I have good news. That's all in your mind, and your way of thinking and identity can be rewired. I used to be the same until ... I'm getting into that pain point, which is, they never feel good enough. I never feel good about myself. How can we rewire your mind? And then now I'm gonna tell them about, the book. I used to be the same until. It's a way of me sharing my testimony and also telling them why I'm credible to talk about this topic. So now they know about the solution. They know how to rewire. Then I'm gonna hit them with that promise and that big promise with the solution aware people, the 3rd row. So this is an example of something I would use for the people who are solution aware. These are the principles that have completely transformed my life. Everyone is different, so I can't say that everything that works for me will work for you, but this book is an easy read like you've never experienced before, with artwork, exercises, and renewing of your mind using wisdom from the Bible. So here I'm giving them that specific promise that is, look, I can't say that this will work for you because everyone's different. But what I can give you is something that's going to renew your mind, that is different, never experienced before with artwork. So I'm actually using that but and flipping it into being a positive thing. So instead of saying, hey, I have all of this, but it might not work for you, I'm saying this might not work for you, but this is what I can deliver. And that just makes the argument even stronger. Well, not argument, just offer. Now that they know the specific promise, which is my book, now they're aware of the product. So here, once they're aware of the product, I hit them with a proof-driven hook. So I give them proof and credibility to why my book is worthwhile, okay? So this is what I would do. When I got this testimony of how my book transformed, changed this man's life, I knew my purpose of writing had been fulfilled. The Lord is a shepherd who leaves the 100 to go after the many. And to even impact one of his children for the better is priceless. So here, I'm drawing them in with that proof, the testimony, the outside testimony of the guy whose life, he said that it was already improving because of the book. So that's just a big W, and then I keep them there with more proof and credibility. Now that they know about the product, they know why, it's credible. Now they're on the last rung, which is most aware. The most aware people, you just hit them with that deal, right? Because they already know what the problem is, how to solve it, what your product is, and why your product is the best. Now they just need a final push to buy it. So you hit them with my book, Transformers dropping price and 50%, screaming hot sale. Go get it now, 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 now. So that's just an example, of basically you just put your offer in there. If you have a screaming hot deal, go ahead and scream it from the top of the rooftops of that, 50% off. Okay. So at each step of the way, people get more and more informed on why your product is epic. And then at the end, you offer a deal. If you are talking about a discount to someone who doesn't even know about your product and why they need it, they are less likely to convert. It is important to cater to each customer and tell them about your product. That's my TED Talk. Peace out. May God bless you. If you're talking to someone who's not aware of the problem, then why do they want that screaming hot deal? They need to know what problem your book fulfills, even if it's just entertainment. Let them know. Like, hey, it's been a minute since the last Harry Potter. There we go. Now they know the problem. So move them down that ladder if you can. If you have time to make videos, ads, and all of that for your launch, I would totally recommend it. For me, I can't say that I personally did this because I wasn't aware of this before, but if I was launching again, I would most likely do something like this. All right, guys, that was Goated Ads. And with that, you have completed the Epic Marketing super quick course. We did a case study for what I did. We did, the different types of warm and cold outreach. And now I showed you guys how to apply that and do the Goated Ads system to reach all 5 types of your customers and serve all of them. Guys, blessings to you guys. Hope this has been a fantastic experience, and then we're just gonna keep it on the roll. Whether you're ending this course with this or whether you're starting with it, may God bless you, and let's get it. Peace out. It was a pleasure. We'll see you soon. Thank you for sticking around. 3 hours long video. It's a pretty long commitment, and hopefully by the end of it, you're able to walk away with a published book. Go ahead and send it my way. I hope that I can celebrate you on that. I want to give you my best effort, my real valuable resources, and my best knowledge without expecting anything in return. So, God bless you. Peace out. Have a good day. Peace.